Ale fonsaje de. Ale fonsaje. Ale fonsaje. Ale fonsaje. Muna dabo sanka baluo. Ale fonsaje. Mbe useni dabo julalema. Ale fonsaje. Juloka man la maje. Ale fonsaje. Ni aja man la maje. Ale fonsaje. Suluo simbene da. Ale fonsaje. Useni masata. Ale alale amansa andi ale ponsai mbaro da bodima ale ponsai mbaro da bodima ale ponsai enu mukunda da bodima ale ponsai alale bate jola ale ponsai masole bate jola ale ponsai aye gambia bondi bata kono ale ponsai maje molu bele sewota ale ala be nyinkela ale bonsai manso be nyinkela ale bonsai usen bodanyani dobo ale dobo ga usen ale bonsai anata kombo tumami ale bonsai londo nata kulli ale bonsai okaelo adabo ale bonsai ayado kuoge gambia Kaya Mandela ale fonsa mayinduru kema ale fonsa alafo salida bokema ale fonsa adale bate jola ale fonsa yenjilansi sedima ale fonsa ganja mane dimma ale fonsa sali suare dimma dem ale fonsa jari jalo dimma ale fonsa jari ma ale bonsai tida si sedi malem ale bonsai munani tata malitu ale bonsai munatani kumbole mude ale bonsai juguna ale fonsaje de ale fonsaje ale fonsaje ale fonsaje muna dabo sanka baluo ale fonsaje mbe useni dabo julalema ale fonsaje juloka man la maje ale fonsaje ni aja man la maje ale fonsaje suluo simbene da ale fonsaje useni masata ale fonsaje alale amansa andi ale mbaro da bodima ale ponsai mbaro da bodima ale ponsai enu mukunda da bodima ale ponsai alale bate jola ale ponsai masole bate jola ale ponsai aye gambia bondi bata kono ale ponsai maje molu bele sewota ale ponsai alabe nyinkela manso be nyinkela ale bonsai usen bodanyani dobo ale dobo ga usen ale bonsai anata kombo tumami ale bonsai londo nata kulli ale bonsai okaelo adabo ale bonsai ayado kuoge gambia ale gambia kaya Mandela mayinduru kema ale fonsa alafo salida bokema ale fonsa adale bate jola ale fonsa yenjilansi sedima ale fonsa ganja mane dimma ale fonsa sali suare dimma dem ale fonsa jari jalo dimma ale fonsa jari fulo dimma si sedi malem ale bonsai munani tata malitu ale bonsai munatani kumbole mude ale bonsai juguna
Assalamualaikum bari on mute. follow on Facebook. Bal Conton, what happened? I think my video is not on the screen. What happened? The screen. Okay. Okay, I think it's my setting. Okay. Mbal Tentula Bak Mbal Jaila. Mel joined on YouTube Online Bantaba, the Aramisolongo, the 29th of January, 2026. Wow. Time flies. Mundamalan Dunda January for saying 2 days to go. We'll welcome in the month of February. Samol Gataria, Tamil Gataria, Bake. But Alhamdulillah. Mbal Kontona YouTube Online Bantabala platform auto. Mel joined on and Melvin ala Lamoila Nyaso demanding. Kalbe Bismillah Kodengi Current Affairs Show, Thursday's edition on this very noble platform on the three networks YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. Bal konton na nara kachala kodengi Gambia kolom. Kachalbe kiring kabin the whole of today. Sontol farangan take. Bao jimu banko mobile mira nyalom. So I hope today I'm not going to cross path with TikTok for them to flag up anything that I said something me along is unorthodox, is out of the ordinary, or is out of the periphery of in a language, so that coming last time, remember in viewership they restricted it to a wider audience. But that notwithstanding, a program okay. Mal konton nabake. Kana kachala ka Cairo dua Gambia ka Cairo dua dolda maltema. Alaman dunna 2026 election kono Cairo kono funta kono Cairo kono. Man satalla fana in sutura nina dimbayalu ay tankani bake. Melialon ko be koleal kono alayla koleal sonendi bul kolea sifa siatale. Sabante frewolu alman mani ka forkele bawo atelebe labanna ni ngiri ngaro ni dunia kodo ni dunia hamu ni bunyima lo ni mota nyima sango saya atelo labandolati bawo man satala saya le folo de la janaka balu de la alama interaku namina fanan alama jam falamna wala na kebal ka duwa wala nyam mbokk yi nuyu naa leen si YouTube Online Bantaba si ñetti plateformes yi si Facebook YouTube ak TikTok mashallah yàlla may nañu loolu. The only platform that broadcasts concurrently on all these three networks at the same time. So ñu ngi sant yàlla si loolu. Di leen wax ne welcome to Current Affairs Show, Thursday's edition. Daanaka January bi tam almost jeex na. Today is the 29th. Almost 2 days we'll welcome in the February. And that is the month that we're expecting to enter into the holy month of Ramadan 2026. Yàlla ñu fekk ko jàmm. Maa ngi ñaanalante jàmm. Yàlla suñu borom sutura ñu suñu njaboot yi. Ñu ngi ñaanal Gambia tamit jàmm yàgga fa yàlla ñu dugg si élection bu ñu séntu di 2026 ñu dugg si géem ak jàmm génn si jàmm ñu ñaanal aji jiite yi kon lu mu ko di wax fii suñu warugal la pour ñu ñaanal aji jiite yi because ñu yëpp loolu la ñoo xaar yàlla mu yéex si ñoo tamit mu fekk ñu si yoon bu baax because dee moom amul garab àdduna lu mu neex benn bés fo ñu uyu ko suñu borom moom moo ñu moom te suñu soxla rek doo teg fi benn seconde si àdduna bi tey nag waxtaan bi yëpp in the screenshot bu nekk si TikTok bi Cyprus Center of Policy Research and Strategic Studies under the auspices of the University of the Gambia. They have been doing a fantastic job, and so far, buñ commencé seen liggéey, I don't think they have got it wrong. Man suma gis-gis. So they have released their survey for this much talk about 2026 election. And I think it's very important we keep close eye on this, on the results. Let's not rubbish it. If anybody tries to rubbish this, you are doing it at your own peril. Because sample mom, I don't know funeka, Sample will always be sample. You cannot do research and speak to everybody. That's why they call it a sample. You have to study statistics. If you do statistics as a core subject or as a subject in your bungadon janga, I'm gonna do what they call what is called a sample size. Sample size is a representation of the bigger group. And opinion polls all over the world, sometimes they get it wrong. Yes, it's true. It's not perfect. It doesn't mean that opinion polls, so go ahead, they always get it. Even in the West, where I've seen opinion polls got it wrong in the US elections. In the UK, at one point, opinion polls got it wrong, but rarely, but 9 out of 10, they do get it right. But sometimes they do get it wrong because I don't mean Adam or commune. They're human. And that's why in statistics, you put margins of error on your results because that's the nature of human being. Suñu dara du mut yàlla rek mbiram moo dee mut because moom yàlla moom karim la moom amut limitation. So mbaɗigol on naatan fanangana opinion di ɓawo diyamoɓe keri the whole of today covering separate result on another UDP statement bondi. I'm going to read that in regards to surprise, and it's a very mature statement, a very responsible statement. I want to thank the leadership for that. Your statement bondi in regards to surprise. UDP La Media Team statement bondi. I'm going to read that here momentarily. Then I know I don't want to belabor on the separate results. I think it's been much talked about today. And NPP called the celebration of that. Because it all got that line killing the GB, Koya Project Co, NPP Alliance will get 46%, UDP 20. As you know, those people who don't know, they go 18, then APRC 4, prefer not to say equal 4, UMC equal 2, APRC equal 1. Okay, I'm just trying to get myself out so I can read it. GDC and all that. So this is the projection that likely winner. But this also states that 54% Barrow don't want Barrow to be president, right? I think that's clear. Okay. If NPP is projected to win 46, so that means that it's 54%. Okay, I think this is going to be should be an eye opener for everybody. Meng Senator Jam, if the opposition enters the election in 2026 in a fragmented fashion, likely Adama Barrow will cling on to power. That's what this result is saying. Okay. Yalom political nindundaji. Alinka nyo lamoy na nyo bunya fanan na meta political ti woltile. Meta vola banta ba janne ko oppositionolu what is certain mafo particularly ta kelano because you can never say never. But what is guaranteed wolon pro oppositional ke kilindi. Now for janne for the past couple of months. Some people don't like it. Some people feel that as an anchor on Bantaba, but Ndala Politico made a fully, I'm going to repeat myself, Mani Tonyale Sambala. Man Najanka false hope di mola. Man Najam because somebody is listening to me ka Claudia ni Kumofo. Womante Cindy Jang. Tonya Ndengaja Nyaming, even when I can be wrong, Mafalo Nyama. Suppress Mokanela Soviet rubbish. The moment you are rubbish, you are doing it at your own peril. Local government election, UDP will win West Coast and KMC, and none that happened. 2021, they projected that Barrow was going to win. Yes, even though Njujaj Ketale, but official results on Barrow won. Okay, so now if they come up with this, and you can see element of truth in this because UDP is number one opposition. Opposition will be UDP by 20. These oppositions are nowhere near UDP. the margin is so big. Okay, so ngamira wo fana nyota tandile ko amanke ko ñun mo mole tamanke kate kumol kumfe safarol ke warande carried by emotions or ilafta mole fenkela. Okay, so ngadoja ko my brother, there is nothing truth in this. Wo mi tell opinion already. Ha. More money opinion on Yalom, we cannot be here because when they predicted that UDP was going to West Coast, one month ago there was nothing truth in this. More for it. We were happy. Okay? So statistics, honey, Melka opinion polls, there is what they call margins of error. Nobody can say this is 100% right, but nobody can also say it's 100% wrong. That would be completely erroneous. That would be a false statement. So, and I'm happy today that in the platform common sense has started prevailing because nado moi UDP Kolomati platform call. This is a wake-up call for oppositions to stop the squabbles, the ping-pong, the spat between the opposition. Now stop and we focus Adam Abaro. How many times did I say that on Bantaba? I've been saying it for the past few months, even though it continuously falls on deaf ears. But Angalol coming for a word for the wise is enough. Wallahi, if we don't stop this fighting, this unnecessary fight, Nimbaro winter, we have to blame ourselves and the opposition in its entirety. We cannot blame only any one person. I'm going to make that statement here. Please, that's okay. But I'm also a Gambian. I have a right to my opinion. Because you don't have to go to school to realize this. You cannot be fighting within yourselves and expect to win. It's common sense 101. You don't even need to be told. When you are going to a battlefield, I come to look at the Allied forces, mainly Iraq, invade. Niara nung komen itol damal be kumol file be sonkala battlefield kono. It is Saddam Hussein win no matter how powerful they were at the time. So Gamen Voja wala nyintiko. Being a platform on Lamoy. Platform do fongo don't taje because kumole be fokanje had to come and say it. Bombal de degar bi rek sehu. Thank you Smaharid be Mamad. Ndega Gambia je wala nanga safaro ke kunun nakafujo ma dola post to Facebook ngai ko Gambian we are a rare breed of people and I've been saying that for many years ago. We are a rare breed of people. And evidently ngatandile. Suppress la result atandiko ninga coalition or soto. Baro is going to lose. You don't even need to do a research on this. Yes, the research has proven it scientifically. But you don't even need to do research. It's common sense 101. But coalition of Fanang, abukana automatically, and nabi na nyantana ni tonyaleka. Sayang amer opposition will be and realize like UDP le nyantaka coalition will lead. Ni research fana yo produce like UDP. They are according to the projection 20. These other parties, mainly UDP benyo sabakam, dolbe 2, dolbe 1, malo nyadi. So it is with that projection. Now, how can you come and say UDP should take the back step? It is coalition lead. Sobe yankoli yela percentage jele. Sobe jele sort of fang. Let me try to. I think let me open it here. I'm from on the screen auto so I can see it. Okay. Sobea is 1. Yeah, according to this, Sobea is 1. UMC is 2. APP Sobea is 1. Mang NUPJJ, MAJJ, orders, eco orders, wolle nyo sabanyin na orders maybe NU people wolle kon, right? Ngamira look, wo fanan meta fola janen ko tonya ni nyo nakaroti je Albanianta UDP le endorse la UDP to have a coalition. I hope this risk survey would be an eye opener. Because Patime Alongo is projected to have 20% with the margins of error. Okay, let's just go by the analysis. Either you are projected to have 2 and 1. Either be more landila no nyari leko, ite la candidate or nyanta ko coalition will lead. So if you're also honest, you're honest to yourself. We have to be honest ourselves first. Because if you are not honest to yourself, you're going to be honest to the Gambian people. Honesty starts from within. I have to be honest to myself. Then I'll be honest to all the Gambian people. Nit ki da nga nekk no ko xamne yow sa boppa da nga wara nangu dega bi. So result, because about 60% of Gambians, Barrow has 56% of Gambians disapproval rating for Adama Barrow. Kemo kono sidula tan lulu ni woro wol be ko Barrow approval, and ko Barrow is the worst president. Ali la moy ñin sobe fanan ko ya jame wala president yala betata Baroti. Jawara la president yala Baroti. But contrary to what Barrow has been saying all along, ko ate do ko menke Jawara ni ya jame make. But say Gambian ol diam tale through a survey, an independent survey, ka foko Italie Jawara la mansa kunda wala beti yata ni jamela mansa kunda la betata Adamor. Yalo MP ngolu. It told they shouldn't celebrate this much. They are just looking at one thing. Kafoko ni oppositional man act together, they are projected to win. It all that's what they are fixated on. But in Nijamu ruling party, Tiyenin Jibe, you shouldn't be happy because it's a president. Is the worst president among his President Sabol Kono. Omo failure. Ndeman nyinfo result of men NPP ngol ba celebrate can be what result killing wala ya foko molla opinionol molla miranyalto and the new result nyinfo so be mo molla miranyaleti. But in moment you're not trivialized. Lante say who said it? That trivialized la. Olatina UDP la statement o a maturity bonde back. Ako the United Democratic Party has taken note of the election survey, an opinion poll released by CEPRAS regarding the December presidential election. We respect the effort, process, and intent behind such research, and we recognize the role that data and opinion polling play in informing public debate and political strategy. As a party that values evidence-based engagement, UDP will carefully review the findings of the survey and use its insights to further strengthen our campaign, sharpen our messaging, and deepen our connection with voters across the country. At the same time, we wish to emphasize an important democratic truth. Opinion polls do not determine election outcomes, voters do. Elections are decided at polling stations by citizens exercising their constitutional right, not by projections or survey results. Recent history provides clear and instructive examples. In Malawi's 2020 presidential election, nearly all opinion polls predicted the defeat of opposition leader Dr. Lazarus Chakwera, Namera Wolom. Chakwera. It's a Malawian name, so maybe I pronounce it wrongly. Lazarus Chakwera, something like that. For Chakwera Lobang, okay. Yet the people spoke at the ballot box, and he won decisively. Similarly, in Zambia, 2021 election, the opposition leader, Hakande, secured a landslide victory despite prevailing polls and narratives suggesting otherwise. Across Africa and beyond, political history consistently reminds us that polls can underestimate grassroots momentum, misread public sentiment, or fail to capture late shifts in voter behavior. The UDP therefore approaches opinion polling with both respect and perspective. We appreciate data, but we place greater confidence in the will of the Gambian people, the strength of democratic participation, and power of ideas, organization, and hard work. Our focus remains unchanged, engaging citizens directly, offering credible and practical solutions to national challenges, and earning the trust of voters through integrity, consistency, and service. As December approaches, we are confident that the final verdict will come not from opinion polls, but from the sovereign choice of the Gambian electorate, UDP and Media and Communication team. This is a very measured statement. UDP lam ko ye sepres la nying results so yaje e kontanta la fana be tentula e doku kendo minke je anu nyimbe iko kulo mealon ko pruka demokrasi sembo warani banko kam bari ko UDP be karanna nyintole be nying sepres results so jibele ya jibe be karanna je nyame pruka tata soto je bari nata fo fanan ko iko kafo opinion poll amanke ko way mem fo wala kake wati ni wati ando mo to nyalati example di ko Malawi 2020 opinion poll ya fo ko la opposition leader be boylale bari bonata gagné iko Zambia fanan 2021 opinion poll ya tande ko la opposition leader iko fanan ate gagné la bari bonata landslide victory so UDP ko nyie tandi ko amanke ko fengo fen fundita sauver to wala kake iko Gambian le ba a determine na not opinion polls melbi da carte fawla wala ba determine so be même fola wala nyinti ko UDP la hamobe menkan amam falling lafita mbe banko di wol kacandila ba nga nyasul December la pour molse katofa UDP iko final verdict membe gagné rokela opinion poll to fola bari Gambia dingol le fon bokala on the 5th of December 2026 and you non tonyati but the good thing is they appreciate the work of Cyprus and they will learn from this, they will look at this to take insights from it. So yalo UDP man naja rekiko you know man tonyafo like somebody just commented here go jimanke tonyati institutional me alonko ibe loring on a good footing you la tamandiri nyati nin ko futa ibogata nin jusola you use your head intol political kono jama bapi some people just use ikaila heartless, they don't use their heads. We have to be measured and I am ngana diamo dati wala jam ko opinion for na fundita Gambia sako molme yalan ko ye track record shoto ko because let's forget about the 2021 election because war njuj njaj keta jere but the local government election njuj njaj manke wote kodi but the Cyprus the projections were spot on. So mome yalo aka research ke yalo nara nui lota jonna ko barobe West Coast win nale ade KMC win nala deni safo nyuno la record ma bete but ni mole good record soto in as much as ye firm for amandi ye tulo and no new opposition on tolu we should be happy with this because 56% of Gambian soul malafi barola iko majority of Gambians also feel that Barrow is the worst president. The only problem we have as an opposition wala melbe mol batandi kan sonko la Facebook auto. Yes. Mo be involved in sonko auto. Enyanda nying results o talale ye joming ye si ye la bulo fale. Anun kontanta bi bake wala na bi intata platform dole tonko. Birenga na UDP member dole di amtaji ako nimman sonko bula barobe gagné la de ngay ko meta ñu fola banta balé de dol ka kam fan kam amna ñu madi mere ci lolu sax because it is completely illogical that you cannot be fighting within yourselves and you expect to win. It has never happened in any country. Can anybody give me an example? It has never happened in the history of elections where an opposition's supporters will be throwing jabs at each other and they won election. Can anybody give me one country? It has never happened. Not in Gambia. 2016, when we were in the struggle, we used to have debates in the Gambia Youth and Women Forum. We used to have heated debate on the online radios, Freedom Radio and the other online radios. But nearer the time, we got united, particularly when Jammeh insulted the Mandinkas. The whole country, the whole struggle got united. And that was like the convergence point. That was the point of convergence that actually galvanized unity within the social media republic. That was the catalyst that actually culminated in GDC working hand in glove with the likes of Madam Fatimata Tambajang, that led to the birth of the coalition 2016. That changed the trajectory. So we already got that. But now people want to reinvent the wheel. When people like us who have been in this game and we've learned from it, we've got experience, because experience matters. That's why when you go for interviews, sometimes they don't just look at your qualification. In fact, some institutions tend to look at experience more than the qualification. When you're just a new graduate from university, you go to a company, you have to go through work experience, despite you having, even after you got first-class degree honors, because experience is the best teacher. So let's go and learn. Experience matters. So when people with experience, I was talking to 2 days ago, I don't want to mention the person's name. I was just talking to one of the prominent PDI supporter, Mealongo Amarimo, prominent figure in the struggle. The person expressed the same sentiment to me over the phone. I can say who? Baro niti bugun ko. Majority bugun ko. Why ñu ngi nen suñu xulo bi moy yaha affaire bi. Loolu la ma wax. And this is the general perception. And this is what is the result. When there's a research, you need to learn from it. But you don't rubbish a research and say, oh, ñu dañoo wax lu leen neex rek. At least they have a scientific evidence. They actually did find it. They spoke to Gambian people. They didn't speak to Japanese. They didn't speak to Chinese people. They speak to a sample of Gambians who are going to cast their votes. Of course, between now and December, the dynamics can change. Because a human phenomenon need muna wiki helatam. This research was done recently. I don't know when it was done. But what is important here, the variables that they use, there's Gambian people. They didn't talk to the Senegalese. They didn't talk to Ghanaians. It is the same Gambians who are going to decide with the margins of error, of course. In any statistics, you have to put margins of error. All right? So what we need to do, we have to look at this with an open mind. I am going to look at it. I'm very happy that the UDP leadership will look at this at the open mind. Some of our supporters, like this person who came here and said this is rubbish, there will be people who will go out of the periphery, but they are not powers that be. The powers that be have realized, and they said, we're going to look at this, we're going to study it, and we will try to learn from it. But what is evidential? Lu gëna leer ba leer nañ mooy ne man dama foog ne tey lu ñu mën a jànga si lii ñun ñëpp mooy soo mënut a ànd ak nit sax ngeen bàyyi di xuloo. Man, that's my style. Mun naa nekk di werante ak yow at some point, I'll put my foot on the brake. Why? Ngiri ngaro bi be ñu dem in middle of the year. You know what it's going to do? And if I was in that position, I would act the same way. Nit la. Man suma gisee opposition yi di ñuy xeexante, I will not have trust in them. And that's a fact. Wax naa ko fii. Su fekkee ne nit mu ngi bugg a nekk alkaalo, kii di bugg a nekk chef, ma gis ñaari kër yi ñoom ñoo bugg a nekk alkaalo, man may nekk alkaalo, waaye ñaari kër yi ñu ngi xulo every day they are throwing water at the other. The villagers will say, ñii ndax óor nañu pour ñu bàyyi leen si place bi. It's common sense. It's logic of reasoning. It's not rocket science. So we have to behave ourselves. And the reason why I'm amplifying this message again because I was listening to the platforms today. Yes, during my spare time, I was listening and I was following the discussions. A lot of people came and said, you know what? Now we should stop this. Now we should stop this. I said, okay, now some people are getting the message. Others will not stop. I know there are some people who will not stop. I'm talking to people who will be rational. Okay? Those are the people that I'm talking to. I know there are some up to December 4th, they will not stop. Even December 5th day, they will do it. I'm not talking to those people. I know there are some who will not stop until December 4th, 2026. All right? But I'm talking to people who have recognized that now this research has shown us that if we come together, we can stop Adam Barrow going to third term. It will be a disaster. It will be a calamity to see Barrow continue beyond 2026. Me platform dole la moy kan nyintilibulo. Anika NPP supporter la moy, you feel sad. And I said it there. Sinyaje langame NPP ngole ko opposition le muneke Gambia. This is the most ignorant statement that anybody can say. Momo kanyem fo ite man faham iman conscious. Opposition lo boka banko duku. Ika man sekunda men ka sindi wala ne ka na banko la namo mara wala la jutimu tubabu du jan ni na te ko opposition le mun ke jang mol ba fle nyaale mat itata tubabu du banko ka itata ko banko di ha bari ka kantal ko bi conservative le mun do ko le ka Angleterre ba fle nyaame ba fle ba conservative man ta maralo ko le bole be maralo wala na jang Angleterre banko dingol ke nyaati man sakunda. But the ignorance of some of these NPP supporters is over the top. And they niba fole ka fole ni confidence la. And it's laughable. Mo manya na nyiningal opposition yo muneke. B, niko opposition be marali local government da amena. Like ndol UDP. Isa folo nga muneke Brikama. Nga muneke KMC. Nga muneke LRR. Nga muneke Banjul. Wo Gambia no le warugal solo ko nka because na mo lebiti. And our people should be held to account. But at the bigger scheme of things, on national scale, you cannot ask us UDP. Ninga fengo fengo, wo muntol fongo own volution. Like when UDP diaspora, we raised funds, we took some things to the prison and the Queenala Health Center. Wo muntol fongo choice leti, but ning la fita fonda kela. Just like Uncle Mama Kande, aka boholol sindi. That's just womala afongo adiata ene, but na ma ke fanan tanati. But it is not duty bound on opposition for Banco develop. The buck stops at the president and at the cabinet. That's why Alhaji Ousainou Darboe doesn't get monthly salary from Gambians, but Adama Barrow is paid $500,000 every month, tax-free. So Barola Dokolo, so NPP, ala bula alkata platform da ka for UDP ko la tol fongole muneke jam. Because akumo malo waratale. Ngalong galta stop la alba folale. All right, but NPP ngolu Almanya na nyi sauve results also celebrate la. Because 56% of Gambians don't want Barrow to continue. The only thing that this result is saying, if we all go solo, then let's not have a guarantee. And I'm part of that group. And before you survey. Go. What is guaranteed is for us to come together on a united front. Because incumbency symbol warata. Look at today. African Development Bank, NAFO platform auto, NPP Ngol Kumantra Tonya. African Development Bank has given Gambia $19.93 million. Wolu Madam Sanela Yafujam. Na last program. Sane Balama. Ntada African Development Bank la website auto. It is there, publicly. Ye million tang nin kononto. $1 million tang nin kononto. Ye wole di Gambia man sakunda la purka Gambia musol mako. Wo kodoli. NPP man fem fomoli. Even NPP support al men ni benda platform wol man kalamota, they are not aware of that. It will la support al malon ko ye kodole di na man sakunda la. Purka Gambia musol mako. $19.93 million was approved in July 2025. African Development Bank approved it. So where is that money? All of a sudden, Now we see Adama Barrow, akakana NPP mole donto. Atela supporters also they are saying different things. E malo mole kodo nyimbota dame. Because même balafa warata. Barrow be nyimbeke kana because nyanyatile electional. Ngafo janne project solbe ibe project sol launch la ko kurama samba dulalto biko Barrow man gamel bunya. Development of Menyantakela many years ago. Right now, they are fast tracking the development. Fast track development process. That's what Adam Barrow come. They have unlocked that strategy, and that's what their agenda would be. Because in politics, be Gambia, politics of deception, na votersi. So ganyerek, then you go back to into your shell. So ñun ndax dañu wara nangu lolu waaye yeneen opposition party foog naa da ngeen bala ngeen rubbish this separate result da ngeen war a nangu ne UDP is the biggest opposition party. And this is now, I think this has answered, and this should answer all the debate that we've been having for the past year or year and a half on different platforms, then who should lead the coalition. And this should now answer it. This will bury this issue. When we say UDP is the biggest opposition party, some people get angry. Now you've got the answer. The people who were saying, no, what is the evidence? Separate result has confirmed that UDP is the biggest opposition party. I hope now you will accept. The skeptics, the people who were saying, yes, Solaneka biggest Falanco base is based on a research, findings of a research. And UDP should lead the coalition. I've been saying this here. Alhaji Ousainou Darboe should lead the coalition. But we have two choices here. One guaranteed way of removing Barrow is to rally behind Alhaji Ousainou Darboe, endorse him, and not only endorse him, but vote for him. Because there is a variance. Munna ñoo def Alhaji Ousainou Darboe leader, while some supporters have been saying, even if def Alhaji Ousainou Darboe, they will not vote for him. And lolu façon coalition bobu no amul njëriñ. So there has to be a genuine approach. If Alhaji Ousainou Darboe is made coalition, Gambians would have to genuinely vote for him, and then Barrow would be defeated. Okay, if we go to the other scenario A, that is that. Scenario B, where we all go solo, UDP, Tahal candidate, all this opposition, them kuneka. I think that Barrow will be very happy with that. Because you know what? The confidence, there will be a mitigating factor in that, where the Gambians will have the confidence. And if you look at the separate results, they said Barrow is not strong in Brikama, and that's the given. West Coast, I have said it here. UDP is going to have good chunk of votes in West Coast. And that is, I have said it here, and Tebukalafika mo Konami ala Barakendola. Chairman Yankuba Dabo factor in West Coast is going to help UDP. My analysis is based on Tonya. But KMC is going to be a battleground. Let's face that. We are going to struggle in other areas, Melealonko, like CRRs and URRs of this world. We may gain ground there, but we will struggle. And this is why I am saying that the most convincing approach would be to have a united coalition, a genuine united coalition. Let me add that there. Because there's no point to have a coalition that's not genuine. It's not based on people being honest to each other. So now, Sobea, UMC, and PDIS, looking at this, what is going in their heads right now? Are they still going to maintain their position that they should lead the coalition? We would like to hear from them. Statistics don't lie. Research doesn't lie. It generally doesn't. Okay? This idea that we should have primaries here and all this waste of time. And so in Gambia, we are different from other countries. But Senegal did not go through primaries. They just endorsed PASTEF. Because common sense prevailed. They realized that PASTEF got the momentum. Okay, I see an NPP guy who said Brikama alone cannot get UDP to office. Yes, you are right, but it's going to be Moha Balde, Yajame won the rural areas. It is Combo that made Yajame lose. So if UDP wins decisively in Combo, Barrow will be in trouble. Don't underrate that. Yaya Jame lost because of Combo. I told NPP in Golfananyante. And UDP is gaining ground. Even look at this Kayaf election. The number we got before, this time we got more. Yes, it's still not our stronghold, but we are gaining more votes. Statistics have shown that we've increased our vote tally in the region. So if we increase our vote tally in URR and we are able to replicate that in CRR and North Bank, then Barrow will be in trouble. But in what will be more convincing for me, nka moy oppositional bele ka fo alinga Gambia tambindi. Alinga not together. Atolu Dindingolu, Alaji Dabo has said that he's going to be one-term president. He's already said that. If Alaji Dabo wins in 2026, this 2026 rather, 2031, Alda Malian Yo Saba, Ibajela ko gew bi defa ubi pour ñep because mom du taxawat. Anybody else you can put your hand in the ring. Please, let us save this country. Dem len ngeen tok ak waxtan ak sen jegenaay. Because Gambian people have spoken. Me Barrow is the worst president that Gambia ever had. Man waxuma ko des. The survey bi moko wax. Ñu ne Jammeh moko tane e Jawara moko tane. And you see MPP ngal they should be embarrassed by these findings. Because ngeen am moy wour la platform otole. And I know one thing, I'm not belittling them, but most of them ila faham lol mo wara. Itole America wuri ka fo ha Barrow keta tenne because itole ñu sauver jël rek. Biri ko Barrow is likely to win rek. Itol ni wuro wulta bari itol fo manta ye sauver ñim fo karang sauver kono mu ne be ji wala ni be wuri kam because ninde mo am ci supportati I would be nervous saying 56% of Gambians don't want Adama Barrow. 56 is more than 46 ngalongo almam march no bake bari alla Adama Barrow kay march man. So I think it's very important we should learn from this. And nte really mafoko ntelenga Gambia kanu mo beti de mol bi jemele Gambia kanu tati sinya kebe bari mfana nga Gambia kanu de mona nan kana jang hanan do if this is UDP platform I appeal for decorum ngo alinga ñi ngiri ngaru bula alinga ñi kelo bula alinga ta TikTok. Some people from obije they get ika kam fan kamal they say to hell with Sehu Sedili. Sehu doesn't want us to attack these people, but if he doesn't want, that's his problem, we will do it. I say okay. Bahna dal lu ne way def ko way man fuma gis iko keba sito kam menje dindi ngolo to bukaji xama lolu naka lañ ko wasi olof mag bu tok fumo gis yo xale so taxawé sa do ko fa gis na ñin dindi ngol melkata ñim politiko kono jama jama ni gisul lekata fama be ni kanfa fama be ni gisul. So nin kebal be siri wala na bamba maskata la platform oto aka the same advice le di ko bamba ka damenje mel nata politiko kono sain ibuka jeje de ba ni di am def moy dañ la deka fo dekut ñene ñi mere la ba lolo ta tay buma degal nit yi di wax ne waaw li lu mu wone rek dañu wara bay xex ni la man baxna gis nga dega dëgga lu mu yàgga dina feeñ. That's why nit ki sooy def sa analysis ànd ak dëgga rek, because you will become, one day people will come back and say, diw de lii ak lii ak lii. I remember when we were in the struggle, we used to fight a lot. I remember diggante Fatu Radio and Freedom Radio. Fatu Radio am nañ seen fans, Freedom Radio ñun am nañu suñu fan. Xuloo bi time boobu noonu ñun suñu defee suñu programme ñun tam dañoo dem ñu analyse suñu programme bi counter ñu. ñun tam the next day ñu counter leen. ñii rigaaru bi bari. Then Freedom dafa am fan base am. ñoom tam ñu am seen fan base. Waaye xuloo bi dafa dem ba ñu realize de it was not to the advantage of the struggle. And we started trying to build bridges, not burn bridges. So ndekal yamaru minela. Momo lafita alaji usiru dabo eke presidenti. Yalon kana ke siso konkong online ha ante lafita dabo la, nde lafita dabo, o mamin ko lafita dabo la de. Billahi ni momo lafita alaji usiru dabo eke presidenti. Any action membe alaji usiru dabo abe karte usilama. Lolu mo wara nek sa tanka. Momo lafita misa dabo eke next president Gambia alaji usiru dabo. Ko ku se karte aussi alaji usiru dabo ma. Ngamere te nyande la sembo warani la woleto. Folton be believe like you really want Alaji Usainu Dabo to be president. So ndenga ñune ñi sepres la ñu result solje molla mira ñal be fotalale na mira ñal te kala kilimoti bari nga modol jele mel ba fokam ñi mo nonsense lati wol fana na mira ñal woti di momo la tafa yafo, this is absolute garbage. This is freedom of speech. Ku nek ak sa gis-gis walu gëna leer fi moy man duma tofi my rubbish suppressor results because they have a good record. Ma wax len ko nak depuis ñu started def research Gambia, most of their projections have passed the test of time. So based on that, duma nekk fi di wax ni ñi making sense or whatever. No, da nga jàng si nga change approach here and there. Hey, UDP ñun ñu ngi 20%. With no disrespect, UMC ñu ne ñu ngi fan. Is it? Let me look at UMC 2. Ndax tey ñun ban njëriñ lañu am ñu debate ak ñoom sax. I'm asking people, koo xam ne yow yaa ngi 20, kooku mu ngi 2. Why do you want to go into ping pong with that? I'm just asking a question. Can somebody help me? Maybe I'm a very slow person. Because ñu ne moto bu nekk si kanam lañ dee corne. So sometimes yow da nga tardé woo sa boppa pour yow nga ne da nga dem di back and forth ak kooku sax. Hebuma kenn. But I think this should be rational. This is common sense approach. That's why man bantaba man under my moderatorship do not allow for so work you fee. Yes. If anybody wants to judge it in any way, please feel free to judge it that way. Right now, what we should be more worried about is how to stop this report passing the test of time in 2026. Barrow is in trouble. Barrow is in big trouble because 56% of Gambians don't want Barrow, according to these statistics. And Barrow has disapproval rating, a high disapproval rating, up to 60%. Economically, they don't have confidence that Barrow can transform the economy of this country. Gambians amu yaakaar si moom. Ñu ne Barrow mooy nekk di worst president. Ñun dañu war a kontaan si report bi because report bi lu ma woone rek mooy Gambians yi dañ jox Barrow gannaaw waaye lu get des mooy ñu gis progress within the ranks of the opposition. We should not be angry with Gambians if they are passive about the opposition because of who can have this huloi online there. Because look, people saying, no, But at least our executive members are not involved in this. It's just few militants. And you are trying to trivialize that. Don't trivialize it, because party leaders, executive, duñ dem si TikTok ñu leen a record. Luñ leen dee ñun ñoo xam ne ñun suma maas yi dee dem ñun leen dee record online. Suñu kaddu moo dee dugg si biir Gambia to those voters. Because Alhaji Ousainou Darboe tey su defee press conference balaa mu defaati beneen press conference maybe ay 2-3 months. But ñun ñoo xam ne we are every day online ñu ngi dem si TikTok ñun suñu baat lañ dee dégg every day. So su fekkee ne ñun ñu ngi xuloo every day gars ñu ngi record loolu. And you know what you guys are doing? NPP, they know how to do dusty politics. Gis nga yéen soo leen a xuloo NPP dañ ko dee record ñu yóbbu ko. Ma wax leen lii. NIA monitor all this TikTok, most of these TikTok platforms. Da ngeen dee gis ay fake account yu bari. So leen a dugga doo leen xam. They are agents of Barrow. So what they go and tell Gambian people, ñi ngeen a óolu pour jox leen seen dëkk ñoom ñoomi neen ñu ngi nii di xuloo. And you know what? That's human mind. Somebody will say, wax nga dégg de ñii suñ ñëwee dañoo xuloo bi la ñoo yóbbu si nguur gi de. So why don't you put your foot on the brake and try to mitigate that? Because NPP will enjoy the show you guys having a everyday fight. Karikata tene, saferol de la Facebook, me ñoo jaabi la, me fenkela ten. Gambianol wolde kodi barolale. Imala fe adamala. Be nara new results score. 70% of Gambians want Barrow. Then I'll be worried. I'll be extremely worried. But this is comforting for me that 56% of Gambians don't want Barrow. 60% of Gambians, Barrow has disapproved. Barrow, this result is dismal for Adama Barrow. The only part that is good for Barrow is when the coalition remains fragmented, Barrow would edge. That's the only comforting part for him. And this is why they are celebrating. And you know what they are saying? They said the state agents have told Barrow that they will make sure that the opposition doesn't unite. They have penetrated some oppositions. They have penetrated opposition to drive wedge. Hey, Alma regime long. Barola Mansekunda is a regime now. Do you know the difference between a regime and a government? Mojama malong. Barola ni Mansekunda manki mansa government. They're a regime. Saddam Hussein had a regime. System olom. So Barola Mansekunda mu regime leti. When they came in 2016, it was a government. But now they're a regime. Ndolo fananka mfanang ni mole ka kullo. Nga info banda ba jane one of my strongest mole yalango na informa balemati system okono. Asuti ya bata mansa kundala. Kibar jamal be jatele ka heads up dinna lundo la yen kola be dewri. Akonye sewu baralte diam la nyimoli ngay mu neketa konye heretene ngay gonte batala diam wala. Wala ngay ko dukare tete la haju to poto. Ngay nde ma waram bosi bari nga ko no sile. Ngay nde manda mo advice la ko tankede. Because dol bi jewul ko mo advice la moy. Sakoto abdu jam mo buka mo la bil jo mo mam mo control jang. So ni diam ta mol me dam ko mo neketa ngay ko akonye sewu but this is very worrying. Ngay the situation will resolve itself. Well, if I guy my brother or my sister, because man lafi yalon jumalom. The situation will resolve itself. Ala fana na duwa jaboka mobuka ala la ku mobuka long. Ni duwa jaboketa. Ala si jisuma bonje. Ete la hajo noma. Nga inteninte tata banta ba. Be focus like a UDP agenda promote. Bari, atutanto lebulu, for this is going to give us heads up. And all opposition parties, alima egos put aside. Neither la party or yajeko you are 2%, 1%, 3%. You need to do a self-inquest. Or ila movement or ila kafu. Afo yo, okay. Say new results are we are not there. We have a long way to go. We have a mammoth task ahead of us to try to reach to 20 or 25. Why don't we, in the interest of Gambia, rally behind Alaji Usainu Dabo? And Gambia nolu, ninga Alaji Usainu Dabo ke president Mbatele scrutinized even more than Barrow. You know why? Because he has been looking for this presidency from 1996. Sambavola baba, afele saying a banko di da de butu saying. Me falan jibe la le ko be ni yenga ni yoso pour kanyim banko di folo say. Gambia no be nga si nga baba jibe. Ay ni xame ma men soto banko e kapri 96 abe banko ni kan say ni nata diala. Den nta tara Facebook or na TikTok or do nga baba jibe ko be kala nyame. Wo ni UDP nga men nata jang iko Gambino te baba Usainu Dabo scrutinize la ngaban tol UDP ngol damal be dunna nyola jang because ma fulale ko he's the president of Gambia nga baro scrutinize ngam Gambino ba falan scrutinize so la. And ngamere every bona fide UDP member ito lola they have okay because baba Usainu Dabo is the president moma nyana fem fola man sekundai. Now yes niba criticize come unfairly yes nzafono but Allah nyu man fair de just like the assets issue. But then Alaji Usainu Dabo will become the most scrutinized president now winter 2026. Because the fact that he's been looking for this presidency, Capri 1996, Gambians will have the moral compass to say, okay, he has been looking for this position. He said he would transform this. He said he would do it. Now, let's see what he will do in his first 100 days. UDP has made a social contract that we will have 10 skill centers in the country. If for example, Wawato Shita, UDP could not even bring 2 skill centers. Every Gambian have a right to go TikTok and say, UDP, you have failed in your promise. And no UDP supporter can defend that. That will become indefensible. For the interest of Gambia, alengana together as opposition parties, ngani sonko ngiri ngaro ni nyinyo atago nyinka nyo tumi kare kata tenne kare fenkata tenne amam banko na fa fenna aka jumale embolden aka adamale support and NP NIL even the system all kono yen agents also la nanyum forum all kono bije just like in dolbela forum all kono nyame kandamal ko takindi nyola pour que baro gagnendi wobe kala ma sibolati mba hola le jang alaman tankala ni adama baro tamita 2026 opposition party te sembe sotolo banko kanko deke take this to the bank ni momo ke fan nene je ka fon 2031 be kala yade because Gambian no ka tera discourage lale. You remember when Yahya Jammeh got 71% of the votes for 2011? No, I think it's 2011. Because Gambian will discourage lale. People started crisscrossing to APRC. Ika Barrow formula yes jedame. Barrow is looking for Barrow is with a grand coalition. Yahya Jammeh did not need a grand coalition. He was going alone, and so did PPP. But Barrow knows that he cannot take UDP head on. Barrow let UDP long. Barrow doesn't dare to take UDP on his own. And if he wants to prove me, let Barrow do it. Barrow alone cannot take on UDP. Not possible. Barrow has to get life support from somewhere. APRC, NRP, or whatever. But Barrow UDP alone, we will beat him hands down. He knows that. That's why he had to seek for backing. Manana Barrow Manta on his own. Can anybody answer that question for me? Because Barrow President, he could have just formed NPP and he didn't have to go and seek for coalition. Ning APRC lota faye. NRP lota faye, UDP lota faye, NPP lota faye, NPP sal boute fal fon I believe control ngal no. Actually the only thing Albert Jikiri monela wala ale APRC samanang. Fabakare Tombanja faction. All right? Aleta Amat Bala Patio Stalio Endos, NCP, Alenian Coalition of GMC and all. Yes. alganyene foko we ndola ka UDP bude atol buka UDP bude on your own ano na lafta proof la ala koto bondi ala la grand coalition or dismantle your grand coalition and let Barrow go on his own alte okela so wala nan tolu fanan nim Barrow membe incumbency la wakata akaji ko it is in his interest buka coalition soto so, ndol opposition lo nyanta kala nyaati le ntene nyine kartadi nim Barrow me yalon ko incumbency card va telebulu ate kodo soto ka vote sol induce kataka sefolu mutake ibulol toromondo pour campaign kay kata fala attorney general and the minister of justice ka fo fombe campaign kala en so ndol opposition lo kamone batu ñu la ñoo xaar so ni mo lo taje ka fo ha alen kana fo ko without coalition to win yes ntema fo ko without coalition to win but the most reassuring path to victory is for us to have a coalition, particularly when the incumbent already has a coalition. Is this not common sense? Ndol kujama babe the common sense approach long. This inner fighting, is it going to put food on our table? Is it going to make our hospital better? Is it going to give confidence to the Gambian voters for them to have trust in us? No way. If I was independent, I was not in any political party, and I sit down and look at the social media, I would probably remain neutral. I would say, you know what? I don't have confidence in people who are always going on having a go at each other. When the president systematically destroys a country beyond redemption, we don't have a third republic. Gambia man third republic, we still have a second republic. After Barrow being president for 9 years, Barrow Barako man constitution kutosam. Ya jante wala nanka ninga NPP ngol jijang. Nka malule ka ntebe malale pour que Adam Barrow support. You have a president. Yaya Jammeh came and ushered in a new constitution. He came from the barracks. He brought in the 1997 constitution. Jawara, 1970 constitution. What is Barrow's legacy? Nada. Nim Barrow bada president Barrow le constitution samana. Ali. Barrow barako man constitution kudo samana no Gambian oli. So what is Barrow going to be bragging about? Nga silolo doku janale. Nga fenko samana jana because atela diamo be silo. Barrow ya tara Jawara be sila doku wala. Double lane Serekonato Banjul, even though Akeba tele, but Jumale Osilo doku. Osilo man doku barola ya Adam Baromo doku. Ya jame trasila doku la ni Senegambia bridge. Ya jame la contract sign. Combo Costa Road. Ya jame la silo doku. So there is nothing new here that Barobe Menke and Molman Menke. The problem is because he is so fixated on this road construction because of the OIC. Ngasila kilometer nangamle. Sa yitebe ni wuro belebe siso konkona. So we funte you are the worst president. Yes. Foninga MPP nka memoje ko sove ma for Barrow is the worst president. Sove all of. Sove go Barole ya jamele betata Baroti. Jawra betata. With all the sila doku wala alkalbe silo men doku kan Gambian ko still Barrow is the worst president. So this is an indictment on Adama Barrow. And they should not be bragging about this survey result, MPP goal. Almanya nakakufanyi survey result. This is a negative reporting on Adama Barrow presidency. The only positivity that you guys got it is the fragmentation within the opposition. It is the lack of unity within the opposition. That is what Adama Barrow is benefiting from. But without that, Barrow is finished. Barrow's success relies primarily on the hoo-ha, on the inner fighting, on the back and forth within the ranks of the opposition. Barrow can do our life every day. But the day that stops, the opposition party will be together. You can see under one row. Barrow will be panicking in State House. Nganyem Fali agent a long time ago. barola moli ya fayne ko iko opposition te kambenna bari itol manke alati alala yalong in the next months membe kela andu nintol be ko nga bankoje we truly mean our words. They are not just rhetoric. They're just not lip service. We can salvage motherland Gambia. And there is only one approach to this, in my view. I could be wrong. The compelling way of doing this is to endorse Alhaji Ousainou Darboe as the coalition leader. Atolu be ni opposition party will be ninga frame of agreement soto. All these opposition parties will have stake in government. Because the coalition on the UDP government, America UDP the Malabekala municipality, will still have a coalition government. As a proportional representation, nga banko bondi. The mistakes of 2016 that cannot repeat. Because 2016 election was done in a horridly. We were dealing with a dictator. And this happened more December 30th, more banta. Gambians will be devouring. We wanted to get ourselves out of the predicament we were in. So, Kolkata Horila, UDP executive was incarcerated in jail. Kolkata Korontole Kono. But we've learned from 2016. And what we should do, probably try to tick the boxes again and say we will not repeat the errors of 2016. Because they are repeating totally. Ningo ken se banko bondi nyim bulu jawo kono. Banko me anko corruption be farin tep. Ngole fo NPP ngoli bi ngoy ko. Barola kuria ate lonna fona botaji. Atol meme wurla jam barobo president keno barobo keno albinal malula janne. Ning investigational keta tapolayal min keta. Nko nga fale ne file start teleke yemandi. Eka file yemandi munela. Muna nalla kamalo file affilita. Mansakunda sobe wala file se fili. Because ale file yemandi le. Because courier leketa je njunjajo leketa ji. So man luma ñaanal ñep dama ñaan dina continuer di ñaan. Thank you so much, Kitabu ML. I can say what you're saying is everlasting truth. Thank you for agreeing. I know some people will disagree, and that's fine. We cannot all see things in the same way. I don't know, mom, lolu munota hew. Soon just to muna neka bena. And the manzuma idea be make sense to ñeneen ñi. Why dina ko fi wax? This has sent panic mode within the ranks of the opposition. Because Barrow is trying to use the narrative. And people go with a platform auto. Barobe win nale. No. The result is saying that 56% of Gambians don't want Barrow. So, you deka bi fila tolu. Desna si ñun. Nga NPP ngol la diam la dole jako because bintata platform auto. Nko Africa Development Bank la ni story nga mem foten ni nga manke toñati mem fonyo la Bantaba. I will resign from Bantaba me close la. Anu barola man sakunda na nate funti la ko ni manke toñati. Itol en mel be support la jam mel me bulubal li maral ñoka wala ni molbe ñoo sabale bar man sakunda la official wol hani ye black cab wala kono. It afol African Development Bank man $19.93 million di Gambia government. Hani barola minister Clinton hanyo fola. Ye hanya fola. Because near African Development Bank la website it is there. Well, ta fola ko $19.93 million di Gambia government na wait la website. ADB well they are responsible. So do kumata ko ya fo janne ko iko 2021 ibe resign nale. hantele ngafo bari ntengo fo jande bari birin nata jang ko ndele ngafo nun ko be resign bari birin nata nga suti solo je Gambia nyaaw ngana mind change in a positive way nde Gambia tulate bari nde fo nga follow no fo banta ba jam so you don't need to repeat that because birin nata Gambia nga ko suti solo je amen ngo ay nten ko dilano bankola ndengo fo jande many times Alaji Ousainou Darboe momang hani ayat of corruption killing ni momo lafta sudiyandi lala wode kela miral fo but Alaji Ousainou Darboe mang any corruption scandal suto afongo mota funtinde la ni wonte nen kayto be je ay corruption ke baroba funtinde la alfongo wolonde 1 + 1 is not 5 is 2 diplomatic passport scandal on ata jenne amang implicate ji because diplomatic passport scandal la telon foreign minister tun bari kaytol ka sign jumale adama baro la ki sign wala ne molwen sama kiti yola muna lela ju senu dabo jidel assets declaration on data jane commission assets all oppositional len nata janka kamola yaje Gambia oppositional to nyanta fayda kala no oppositional len nata janka kambala ala ju senu dabo some opposition elements they were even eager to taint his image, and that passed the test of time. When the list came out after the gala protest, Alaji Ousainou Darboe's name was nowhere to be found. Alaji Amadou Sane's name was nowhere to be found. And that's why you don't hear this asset issue anymore. Because the agenda was, Itola interest was to try to taint Alaji Ousainou Darboe. They also tried to stain him with the deportation agreement. And some of them are still saying it. But up to today, nobody can bring out a paper or any agreement that Alaji Ousainou Darboe signed. First time, he come my party la sign. He put Alaji Ousainou Darboe la sign because they want to use it as a political weapon against him. So alinga faida kenna cool kono. Ntede mbenna mulu dali la mensel lamoy. Ni nyo sabo alinga nyaka sala. The remaining 8 months na nyatri arma borola. Wala ben nafala de. Ndese usedi le mulka live Facebook live kele kan attack. Woman dati bi la fam. But do I have to respond to all these people? Ningo kan ko se faire. Olof njaay ñu ne ku min sa wax yabla. Ku min sa wax yabla. Nini moka defante ke every day def la yab. Ku warut la yab mo la yab. Lolo tañu ne ku min sa wax yabla. Bari ni ñaka si mola. Ite ñanta men fola yafu. Ni do na te kuma fofang ite la hajo no mo. Bring analysis ke jang. Another political grouping. I don't want to draw them into this discussion. But some of them were not happy with me. But bring the Arabanta Baja, Linda Fananko, Mina Langatol Fanankula. Look, the manjaka fight los mobopa. Lolo the man kum mean sawa yabla. Because this social media. Ken munota door fi ken. Fi ken munota tojal fi ken. Denga tal sa platform nga wax lula ne, monta mu dem tal platform wakulu ne. And who is going to be the winner? Nobody. Because ken do dem si negi ken nga ne den ko ñef. Denga tal sa life nga ne tey mom saway luma ko soti. Soti nga ko way mom tamit dina dem tal live am soti la ko. Ndax yow mën nga stop lool because TikTok mom ku nekk am sa TikTok ki mo la face sa Facebook so tojale nit def la tojal fi ken mënu ta tojal ken loolu suma dégani fi sa way tey luma ko def fi Europe fi kam moy dem naaw nga ne da nga dem néegi nit nga ne da nga ko arrest attaque dañ la da nga tëjloo sa boppa loolu da nga gis Gambian si ak lu ñoo xuloo yépp si online mun nañoo tase Gambia ñu romante ñu smileante kenn du attaque kenn xuloo bi yépp ñiiri ngaaro bi tojalante bi yépp si online la and what are we benefiting from that man sant naa yàlla bu baax a baax because tey bu ma gisee lu ma daan wax all this months tey ñu bari ñu ngi ko wax ma ne la alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin su ma doon wax fii loo xam ne make sense kon kenn du ko repeat waaye separate results bi moom we should be a wake up call to all of us and let me tell you one thing thank you so much thank you to all the people who are giving your comments here on the Facebook. I really appreciate it. But if you want to criticize me too, you can. I'm not just looking for validation from, but if anybody disagrees with me also, please bring it on. And you can even join the live and disagree with me and try to rubbish everything that I say, because I don't have monopoly over knowledge and nobody has. My ideas may not may be sensible. Maybe I'm getting things wrong. Okay? But in America, there should be a rational approach. I hear my brother Nyanjai, even though he doesn't come to Bantaba that much, but I think sometimes he watches. Every time let's focus on things that will put food on the table. And this is wisdom. This is true wisdom. But in Tolo Gambia, the complexities of our society itself is a deterrent to our progress. Our behavioral patterns, big deterrent. Our Defante syndrome is a big deterrent. And anytime you say this, people will try to invoke the US-Europe factor. And this is the missing link. Europe, they can afford to do it because they're already a developed country. These people have developed. You know, developed telephone, they've gone to space. Fee can hell out to heave. We are in a different scenario. You get a door, put hair against land, heave, hunger. America, Donald Trump, I'm not time with them. Donald Trump's under the delegate. Every day, Muslim media, munge garawale need, munge ton, because America is already a developed country. Donald Trump, should mu tapas niti, mu dem wax mu ñaka fayda, mu attack journalists. America doesn't have water problem, access to clean drinking water, do they? Do they have access to electricity? We have the problem. Gambia, people are living on less than $1. Ñun ndax am nañ time pour hulo. And if we are comparing America and what happened in America and Great Britain, it's far-fetched. Because New Dorangun development, we should have started in 2016. We should have brought these reforms. And that was a failure of the coalition. We have to say it. Coalition should have changed. Constitutional violence, in public order act. We have to take that on the chin. We have to accept that they were colossal mistakes. Self-inquest is good. You want to give excuses to all that, then Barrow can also start giving excuses. Because excuse is the easiest thing. We should have changed some of these bad laws. The public order act should not have been in our law books today. Shouldn't we raise our hands up and say we failed in that regard? Hey, ni la fida mansa tallaye kontani ibe sonne la mistake wolle la. Mansa talla manke sino mansa tide. But ite ko yefengo fenke is perfect. Modo yefengo fenke is wrong. Ala be jibe kan ko ikatele nene mo buka mansa talla nene no de. Mo I mistake that I told Gambian 9 out of 10 we don't admit to our mistakes, and that's why we find very hard to apologize. We have very issues. Gambian make apology kamansiade. Even if apology kalanga in a reluctant way. Okay, so we can demala ton kon balal ma. Lolu do apology. Apology has to be sincere. Okay, okay, niya feel ko nge tonyele. Woto yako tunye. Niya feel ko nge tonyele. Foite malongo ya tonyele. isalo nga mari man la fa ala mistake ko acknowledge la de okay ha ni wolo mbalal nga même fotel na behavioral do la nyam ni more wrong ilonta ifa ma nyanda sila yafo he bar biyo se use libi make kum boyta kari kanne de yes song ala ina lon ko nanyi jongode a sonta la mistake wala le ndol nyanda post mortem level of coalition 2016 ndol member for ma fala baro isa wo baro fondol fana ma mistake wodo ni mo kuma fo hat fo baro ma ngo DSS kari kata yes we made mistakes anun teba accept la le because nga baro over protect le wodo mo hani kundin kuba manke beti de dol bi je from day one woli ya shoote baro to le ko baro du waji because ajara to jenaba mas ateka for all the time kate from day one amam baro trust I hakil fula so baro and she got vindicated bari ndol fana wodo mo ni kundin kuba baro isa baro so nga baro jambandi fondol fana manya no mistake ko talaba fondol le mambaro jambandi to le nga jambandi hani mol ko be heb fulay rek ngo ha baro isa baro ala nga so wo error la ko ñun tamit daanu nañ foofu te loolu tamal léegi loolu du ñaaraati nga mel hani ñoomin kol fon be sonna wala do nga ñoomin ka kili njaar dun tan kadi njaay so na analysis mbeja 1 hour 27 minutes bawo ñi mu banku be kacalati nga honorable Suleiman Saho mba tentu la bake ay jabiro menke NPP la about new loan nga la saferoje kerfatu ka NPP jalay tonya kan ko ilaning loan ani silo manta is against the National Assembly Act me alon ko pour comme sol sembentu ya this is what we expect from every well-meaning National Assembly member. Ando me briefly tala ko tenke wolo nga fo janne mbe PDRS mbe féliciter la congress wala ye menke ye honorable Swaibu Touré yatel elect as their secretary general and party leader, but he is not the flag bearer yet. PDRS ni UDP la system o be killing ifanan kana application le dundi pour même que la flag bearer. So for honorable Halifa Sallah would apply or he will not, I don't know. For Honorable Sidia Jata would apply or not, I don't know. For Honorable Swaibu Touré will apply. But I spoke to a strong member of PDIS who told me, because I was thinking that Doi got a different system. I was thinking that whoever got elected as a secretary of party automatically becomes a flag bearer. Akonye ko no. Akonye ko ñun suñu system accent boss benala. Akonye ñun tamit dañ dé apply. Nga ko kañ nga na apply nak akonye xawma de ba xamna ne du yaga. So they will open up applications at PDIS, and then let's see whether the veteran politician, Honorable Halifa Sallah, would apply or Honorable Sidia Jata. So if Honorable Swaibu Touré applies and then he is selected, then he will become the PDIS flag bearer. But right now, they don't have a flag bearer yet. They have Secretary General and Party Leader of PDIS, and congratulations to him. And I want to commend PDIS the way and manner they did their Congress. It was very inclusive. They even included their diaspora folks through video calls. And this is exemplary. And this is commendable. So the other opposition parties, my advice to you, have a rethink. Have a sober reflection. Gis nga nit ki su la rawee si dara da nga war a nangu ne kii mooma ëppa nit nga humble sa bopp loxo yi mënul ñoo em waaye ñun yëpp lañu war a jiital Gambia du nekk si laameñ dafa nekk si jëfin dafa war a nekk si jëfin tamit Because dafa ne ku nekk ne man Gambia laa gis every day we hear it on this TikTok everybody say man Gambia laa gis ku wax rek mu ne Gambia laa gis doo musa gis kenn ku wax ne gisuma Gambia. Why? The proof of the pudding is in the eating. Now that the scientific results are out, which is conducted by an independent group, because separate, they are not UDP, they are not UMC, they are not GANU, they are not NUP, they are not PDIS, they are not GDC, they are not GANU, they are not NPP. They are independent. They have confirmed that UDP has the biggest numbers within the ranks of the opposition. So by default, UDP should lead the coalition. Waxuma ne separate loolu la ñu wax de man loolu suma wax la separate waxut loolu de man maa wax ne by default balaa gars yi di wax ne sewu seet li mu ne separate mu ne lii balaa ngeen dem di ma misquote man leeral suma bopp nte moo bëgg na photo soori ñi fon le ka soor janal bi daal bi tan nak ko misconstrua bi ko Gambien ol dool bi je wol bu ko moy roke baake separate ma fo ko UDP la ñente ka coalition lead separate ntele ba fo kan ko by default ntela jeroto UDP la ñente ka coalition lead léegi dinaa ubbi line si mu nekk mu jox sa xelaat dina ngay déglu Youth Online Bantaba yaaxa bi nekk si dëkk bi dafa bari Gambia ñun ba léegi we are being colonized by Senegal te wax naa ko si benn plateforme te loolu mooy dëgga ñun suñu security is in the hands of the Senegalese su président bi Senegalese yi ñoo ko dee garde ana suñ where are our men and women? Yes, he has a Gambian bodyguard ku dee toog si gannaawam waaye kooku wo yow ke jële jubur lango la woti jubur lango wo bi jële dorom bari the real security of State House is in the hand of the Senegalese. In fact, those of you who go to State House, there is a certain line that Gambian soldier will be for their romba. Close protection units of Senegal, Adam Barrow, they are all Senegalese. Our electricity is being outsourced from Senegal. Dola kurang ko ban NPP be nyin kibiro men bela ten Senelec ni kurang ko kundure Gambia we are finished. Hani rural areas na kurang ko ban Senegal. Na internet cable ning the one in Senegal ay problem osoto kurang internet ro buga wo Gambia. Mbenyi men fo kan jam man taran talim fo kan man sekunda e funti ya fo nyoto nyante. Our internet cable part of it membe ba kono akabona Senegal. I remember one time Senegal ye mun problem le soto no Gambia internet o man soto Gambia. So ntolga mu independent le soto. Na president sanji kononto sojarol le kakanda Senegal sojarol. Economic be Gambia akoyte bolaji sawosa ye la contract renew. Mun fitin la be Gambia baroka sila monela. Say we should say thank you to Economic. Bye bye. But as long as Barrow is president, Economic 2041 ni Barrow beje ibetola Gambia because amalla ate every day akanyene mera ko ni Economic bota jan sojarol ben kudi talale na fole bari Barrow ka sila mun sila Gambia sojarol because ni be ku kendo ke kan bi Guinea Conakry la president men beje fo Guinea sojarol le buka kanta Mamadou Doumbouya president o membe jana Burkina Faso almost 9 coup attempts Ibrahim Traoré bare amanta sojarol bondina bantade afonga sojarol le bakana but every day ba attempt comme France man la fale lafta bondi la ji fofo nanta fola okay mbade ngata sojarol bondina Mali president Goita ani Guinée la Molien kanta non bare wo manke tapetoti adama mu tapetoleti ni aja ala nyin sisi konkongola ala nyin fenko biko economic sojarol le Gambia di aja be defante la ba bulul wiri warala ta ba bulul fayla teg because ni baro la ta fungola sa dawda kayra ba jawara bila ni Senegal fall out Gambia sojarol la kanta until 1994 ya aja me from the same so ndaba be understand why is economic still in Gambia? Can somebody help me answer this? Why are they in Gambia? Why shouldn't they go? Why should economic still be in our country? Kele mantra Gambia, fitina mantra ji. Ni NPP support mention na yung question answer no yen jabi. But we are paying a huge chunk of money. Can you Senegalese all maintain Gambia? Gambian kolle ka jo kodo ka bonan tola Napoli. And Senegal they blame la no because it's savings for Senegal. Because Senegal soldier role member Gambia. What is saving Senegal is all a wage bill. So what Hanik it took Gambia 5 years. Be any more control. We need 1,000 Gambian soldiers to go to Bissau, but Bissau can make you a 40 Antony. But like, okay, that will be savings for us. And Senegalese all they were happy because they will got paid in foreign currency. So it's good for them. I come to control Gambia on Nibita UN peace trip in Sudan and others. Ika kodolo shoto jeka happy lady. But in tol Gambia no lenyanta faida shoto na president ya foko sign na banko kan Cairo be janne. Alta banko nyanta proud la nyine la puila banko dingol ye security maintain la banko kan. Then you truly become independent. But Gambia, we are not independent. Dolhanisa, we are under the thumb of Senegal. That's why Ngamusu dole mo yawe di amakan bi platform o doto. I kuma I tonya lefa ako binin Gambia no ni Senegal lo dunta nyola sanyang. Adama Barrow Senegal le fasa am dugole keta. Atate compensate la nene. Bari ka Gambia no fa Gambia la AKA ye dindin tanse fa Gambia Barrow yonam neku fa. Ye Barrow je sa be nyin ko men be ke kan election le kana si bari binin dindingol fa ta jang. Barrow ma hani banko address. For very more social media republic le kumandila. Nani mol ben ka fam bato kulun kono. Barrow ka sira boka banko address foni mol wurta jang. Birim BBC report ke wotu mole Barrow na ta banko address. Saying abe berela lela abe project wol ke kan bikon duna 2026 alla carte wa be sula di wol. Hey nde Shehu Sedi liba fola jam Barrow man la fi Gambia la Barrow lafta fon la interest la andu hala staffur la inta fola mbam farnta fola staffur la Barrow has no iota of love for that country, and I will not say astaghfirullah. Everything Barrow is doing for his damn selfish interest. Even in Kurangoni ni silo la kamel kete, yes, banko mobile ka benefit ye, but aba keka ne pura gagner. Hey, nim Barrow Gambian la interest soto. B, de nani sabate den incubator killing. B Gambia dini wol ni wuluta. De nani saba wala ke la incubator killing ka. Wo mo ma sibolati. Nita da banjul loptano to laran we ka mol dol laren duma. And you say that president loves his people? How can such a president love his people? Wofoma is not safe. Bi jumala betala to abuduja ye muso so do Gambia, muso e wulu ay ta de nani do e wulu ani de nan do nyo saba incubator. Wulu fa chen saba ya foja. Ako modol be to abuduja o kay ko ngani moy la bari binte fonla je video call to na muso wulu ta. Ndingo be incubator ko na ni de nani do mo saba be incubator ko. Andi wo mari be to abuduja. Fo nyine man kay kan na ramba ko ka. Alko wo mari ye Gambia kanole. Tani de ambe kay loptano lo farato. Bari eleftano lo farato bari ite denani killing because hani deputy wol fon nyim fole National Assembly iko denani saba wol ka dan incubator NPP nga jumale be lola jan diaspora ko manke tonyati anu ila kuma kili ka mulu nene ko ha Rome was not built in a day ni airport security foni ba fola ha mba bondelale mba digitalize lale mba sambata njay la janale ha kabiri ya jamena kabiri wato be mbeka airport tax jole. Okay. Yala alko mbeka airport tax jole. So mona ne matu ticket auto. Yala mona ne matu ticket auto. Nangana faliye. Yala ning tax ka jo 2 airport tickets. Gambia government o labajila no. But ning cash collection abemu sunya rolti. And ning is directly under the office of the president. Hey. Mona is under office of the president. Mona Adama Barrow muna Ministry of Works. Manana found the security port operation is directly under the office of the president. Why? President Milala wara am interest in airport collection. See, Luta Lulu the under the purview of the president's office because that is under the Ministry of Transport, Works and Communication. Airport, civil aviation is under. But when it comes to this collection, that is directly under the office of the president. Why? I'm not listening to them. So manak Taylor Lila Amfi si watandi. Ma play music tuti then ma ñew deglu man line si ali la may UDP la national anthem songola then be line sol tala
ale fonsaje de ale fonsaje ale fonsaje ale fonsaje muna dabo sanka baluo mbe useni dabo julalema julo ka manla maje ni aja manla maje suluo simmenele da useni masata alale ya mansandi mbaro da bodima mbaro da bodima numukunda da bodima alale bate jola masole bate jola aye gambia bondi bata kono imaje molu bele sewota alabe nyinkeraye masobe nyinkeraye.
Okay, I'll be able to use line Bantabala. So, Sai, it's time for me to take callers on the platform. So, I've seen requests here. So, but more will be the Namanol Bantabajang. But Nime along ko TikTok lay salendi. If I'm safe and Jindi. So, I'm just trying to add people. But near TikTok lay salendi, Malafika Diamujang. Is safe and Jindi. If I'm safe and Jindi quickly. Because Namoldi and the Malay along ko Namanaje platform or jang. Dolby J World, they are regular callers here. Mbari muso imantara mute ibe banta bala de niate mala fi sala ji because ila diango be fonti kan. Okay, mbari ngani njindi. This is the danger. Mbari ngani njindi because at a personal conversation always sort of kan amalonga selta banta bale. Nibe TikTok or nyanta kila hakilutu because yes sele ibe private conversation or kila molme moi then ibe diamola. Amera everybody should be mindful. Nibe platform or ibe gibe kan along ko because you can be discussing something personal and it all comes onto the platform. So ala baraka bake. Sorry malan jumale follow nata. Mbata ngani ntabo ngamera Mbana Kanyi, is that you? You want to say something? Madam Kanyi, you there? Okay. I definitely am select la makalamuda. Bari nga defana jindi. Okay. Alala hagilo do ñun TikTok alto. Alonso alaji Kijera, Mr. Kijera is a mute no bang. Okay, bari nga Mr. Kijera mute. Okay. Okay, so baby how to go ahead, please. Alonso if I say mute no bang.
Maflane ko al dimbara la boyo la anita fana baraka ila analysis la anal badi malen kemo sedi yeah so na mte lafta diabola da wala coming sauver na appreciate back because it's a learning lesson for UDP pour mo li alon ko nyanta mu preparation na kera before on the 5th of December. So because ni sauver manke and everywhere like everywhere in even Doku Black.
In 200 yards, turn right onto Gunthorpe Road.
Do you want to drive come? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so any Doku Black sauver can always just to improve. But you sauver I can come in.
Turn right onto Gunthorpe Road.
UDP need to improve certain areas. So what malatin na sauver ni nada. So more nyanta tala nga ke lani lesson na tayado because manya na kabori criticism manya na kabori la because nimbote la nta jalan kata damento so fonga lo
in a quarter of a mile turn right onto Gunthorpe Ridings
fonga la moy la isa gen set na pati ni sambalo so
but it park la follow band then after say call okay because yeah it's just that yeah if I'm going yeah go ahead
so saying Walem quote, so and then coming like last time, covering KF election oketa modol man laf kata ni critical minna like UMC with others kafuko to leti je wole atina tenite nyanda ka critical tale bari nyanda ka kodol ignore ka jibe wol e man na faso to pour ye wol jabi so di jodi ni mol buka code be jabi mbajela ko sign wolem nyato tati yajel so second li lafta min fola wole nte I'm very sad because of Gambia kata jame ne nyinen gamba fole ko because baro nyen ko min beke mo laning baro mantara min ke kan Gambia no an kabi ka fuko baro le nyanta tambila nte buko understand ni mo foko lo wona because one baro ya fan disqualified damen foko to kabra ko ni be campaign la inyanta kumo bele fola ni isita ways different what the madama in the Western Hemisphere jumale bo fole yena election no te put out ya te kela ya jere so Gambia no nyanta sonnale ko mistake go leketa so nga try ko mistake go rectify because Baro is one of them because Baro pourquoi Baro ke man sakunda do Gambia mistake balen Gambia no because wotumo be need ne pour ya jame bondi bari
but Kemo, sorry to interject. Gambian all mafo Imam Baro approve. 56% of Gambians Malafi Baro ke president. Okay? So I think Gambians don't want Baro to be president. But how do we actualize that? Gambian all ying sobe atani majority of Gambians don't want Baro to be president. That's 56%. You go 46% after.
Yeah,
based on the survey. So
yeah, I agree with even in Foka. So because near Barola last election by percentage means sort of compared to this percentage of mean so where so where Baro have reduction, but and still because libe platform ultika modo la kumo will agreement o min fakana woman sense make kafko opposition o libe offer a Gambia so woman sense make but in lafta coming diamo kala jam fan lafta kamin fo Gambia no mbe nyanta la nyokal mbe esa fal mba fala ko jibe because parigo e min fo parigo ko 5 years abore safla and esa it's in parigo se doko keno you catch one part ni yalon ko ite luale kara ye lole kara mun lo ya tie na ya ma ko ya le doko ke after the 5 years mo be sa long mo be ta Gambia kana ngamira wala quality so le ndel after wala fola bari lafta fola mbadi UDP ko le ko anga anything nata angata with good faith ngam far rectify ngata nyaato wala ben sambala bari ka fuko ni ñoo saba ka fuko no ñu sauver man soto amankete wo ka mol discourage la ka tina critical fon e ka gina fenke because ka fole juson ka tar candidate angema so e ajele but ni mo e ma e da bala ko to na me ta ka give up le so lafta wala fola baraka baake mbal be konto nawo
Abaraka, thank you, Kemo. Abaraka, thank you for your call. It's a drop knowledge. Saune, you go ahead.
Assalamualaikum, nabro nge kontom baka ma.
Enembare benyadi.
Nabro nda ma fule te na fomo wali yolti ba. Ngela wali adilal.
Je ebe na wali adila non te mo mori balati bari manke wali yoti.
Ba ko sila ko se ko wali baldi.
No yalon dol jarangol dol mo mori balati dol manke nyomi goldi. Ha? Se ko ele do ko senata. Abaraka.
Ngetendu ngejay
Abaraka
ko hadama do kula no ni tebe do kula mo nyaabela
Abaraka
adu mo be la moy kan
Abaraka
ndani na la moy do be enkela ko mo la moy bari ikan men fo wala kana findi no ba on ta fam ko fa nyingi dum fo mo la ba do ba nyalo ba la tara nyom
no yalo brother in fact modol betalan platform to ndiam ta dolie yalo barola percentage you may work out if a men's total 2026 and in your percentage is very close. They've already worked out their percentage Kobarobe men's total 2026 and Walana bring a new percentage. There is just a minor gap between the two. So Walana Kateko NIA they are in ibela cool kele ibe kujamal kela tira bobo kijare sesela no TikTok le thank you for yeah
Seku ya kuma kama menfo. Yalo molu kumo buka domo kumo kala moile. Ni matina ko ni na ko matina kom sayin barobe kala mansa de mansa wo mu alalati. bare mo la fonko bare ni ila kuma kango ni ya tan la opposition ol kay be nyanta sile la bunko la bi be ni hakilo e kata
nimmo atute bulu je dorom atute bulu je
c'est mo say ni opposition ol man ka kilo di na nga fo to la mol fel
ngana mbenga o moral authority sotole ko ni opposition ol ngi
no I tell you billa wala ñu kwetele ani be membe opposition ol ni ka kilo di sa mon jara baro say mo len da baro be jilale by force
yeah definitely
omo di akuyalde aji be person ni membe tema so ni ni be na te ka kilo di boy na broda adum UDP to nyato yalo hadama way alinga son to nyala mo nay sembo so de UDP mo ke alelo ke
ha
down san so ite ko lafta bo ni mentandi den ni jibe mo be 20 ite be fofula do be killing
ite be 2% do be 1% ha you know
jelle be de no tema chaite no fulo ni na sabwa ni na killing no la tan 20 yo kam do sep titaba
and in the undecided ones mele yalon ko imanson na fole be damen yalo wol
baji ben kana billahi wala ni coalition o kedere nga fante ko be ba kadro fa coalition
I agree
al wol fon be MPP mele yalon ko wol be fenkere ne ni foga because dol be jewol man dara condamner ita fona say bare man dara condamner MPP ni nyanda kire to la kumbolati
no MPP manyana kontan la nyenna ni manyana kontan la
ni manke aji mo jelle me alo ga mo kontanere baro adu ko barola wosta dina ya o memu mashi bola
wo mu feli o mu barola feli olati
o mu barola feli ngalo to man kara o mo fo e manta jibe on folo jani to be kidle to ya mo rek e manta ko
no ya to me ko bri headline o je ko ni election o keda baro will get 46 baro will na wala itoli o da maleta
UDP no membote buri no ila kuma kawe because yatandi sai yatandi la ko no momo identa do ko men
yeah
ni lenni alkana bayde ni lenni ye fenna findinde mol fawlo malo al ngata fanyato rek
abaraga
se bu ngela mori adilal de
no ndol jarangol ndol mo mori balade ndol manke nyomi kolti abaraka thank you brother Alhaji Kijera bismillah Alhaji Kijera
yo assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi seko
inimbara
li mor la sino lo malti de
ndol mo moro le ndol manke nyomi kolti de wo mara la ngolu wol
ando ni kunda ko li hakiro kadiya
ba
wallahi bin tumbu ko fokana bula fanke futa toro kon jino
baraka
na fo ñen la fe hakilo kadiya hakilo kuma man siya
so Alhaji te mona surebe même fola ñun la ñi sobeto
yo seku sobe ñi alhamdulillah tabarakallah ila kuma kamalu imeta kuma kamalu foka mo yenne jama be je ila kuma kamalu ni kuul ko kajam fa ñolo baake bari ndanga kuma fura le sugo ila kuul kono ndame yalon folo e ko majority wo yaita de kafo wol mantare arabo baro
e ko majority malla fi barola
yo so ngamira ni dan to dron wo ben contane dum baake yo warni na ta percentage yo ko nan damu de kafo ko fenkele arama baro ni likely arama baro si gagné nole nin ko tata nyaado yo bari bitum yalo e telephone nda ko le isama yena ko iura so yo ilo dula len fanan jagari yo bari anyhow yalo ko men meta ben frali en jandro baro gondo foka belto listi musol fanan yela faro sita e bamba no da to soni ala de
ide me daw folale
ala kana ke baro ye kana ni ja
wallahi
ala mu ala yen tankawona ni baro karata janga ke ta presidenti wallahi hal musa beni wala be befisi alat hal musa beni wala befisi alat because bi ki kuri wayen ki jo fara bake ngamo kibaro to ka aba fokan ko iko Ibrahima Jaralla sonkoto radio kibaro ko ako sai ko Gambia ko carte fa ko Kenya mo ngake nimbe kitaye abe kala wala
Oh, I all for.
Ha wayan sila makel de man sa kemen ka lo ten carte fang man fay polo din carte fay ta silang aka munta men man carte fay ate ba nya kas do wonne ate ku gara woli andu wol be tax wol ka tax o men jo ate la jo ka boro wallahi min nga baro bula atambita nyin to al be dictator sifa de la gambia konna wallahi billahi taala ni be ke ku gambia sina sa ta nyoyen ate bayla mu bar seku na ngana foye UDP mambalang ini moyo kaf
ha
UDP yala bunda yerle tonya mbadi politicianol men yalon ke be gambia na ya referan ko tonya be gambia le fe ini la supportation be ibe gambia le fe iyalon ko political party o me yalon ko bi sembo bala ala ta kola asibaro jijano
yeah
om UDP
tonya
na ya tari telefon nan yo be seriare ila ta ko bango be kalkali jelo kon ngabere telefon nyanta sile ye la bun kono bi de ye mira iya fa alinga ta bango be da men nga bondi de mo ko ka tinte min kemele bento ngindo talul la babu ngindo tan la babu
tonya
ngindo woro la babu ngindo bulikiri na babu ni na ya tari ko tonya mbenya beloro ngambia la billahi wal kitabi se na dibite na opposition wal benya de hakilo to na ya tari bebe gambia la bi na ya tari han tabulo kan na me yakka ke tabulo kan mama kan de beje e sa faale beje khalifa sallahu malum fobe na la fonte na la bakaw baw ma mo ke nyam ana la mo yo malo fol be ngala fete na molon bar ni dolo kafta men yalon ko to nya yalon ko banko be ko yari ne ko fu nyoma bar yuri fi yala bundaye am yuri fi bala bundaye le ndam yawen le ndam be dingi mel nafta kafla ma pour comme aliena ale ko les zono UDP get coalition they are highly welcome
yeah
ni du man na fanam UDP fana ya kata ay no abe lorin damen na yo continue bar se ko kinta ni ngan sing na nyaagala bar lo ngana ku kinin foye ngam e je gambia kono siwot wala mi diko wallahi politician baranda man na kafu UDP kam ifam badire na mo be kono ne be fayda UDP la ibe tabiro fayda
mbadu
because gambia ko be damene yo sulari fayda
o se ke nolde
mo de si mo sol de and wobe kelale billahi wal kitabi because mo be ba fala ñim pati yo ni bula tay noma ñente falindri keno so am na dabe damen nan telaf tele baroyo billahi wal kitabi sebu ibe kujel iba jala wallahi mo la pati yo fama mo la pati yo mo be kolonge la pati yo to ye ko ngo bire mo ya sude ko baro la pol be na kele nyaado lo madro nda ba be damen support ko ko fama mo dul mel ya ron ko ni wala fama wol be ye kolonge murun men fama be kibiri imba fala en ko ndo ko no iba lo nak mbe mempo.
Yeah. Abaraka Alaji, Diamlal be sharing. Abaraka Baki, thank you so much. If I a drop no mode also. Banu Albela American analysis lala Bantaba. It's 9 minutes to 10 in the UK. Me sepras la nying so result me ole kataka nja momo ila mira nyafo. So sa imbadi ngada fat seni about sukuta le Finland. Albe mbal Danila la tele ayal jamabaya sabanjam but atabe dami sukuta jele. It's very late there. So I'll chance de la defana la contribution okay yama no man taka kasiti ñu nek fi ngeen balal ko mom mu wax Farsen bismillah Farsen be mute le de yama Farsen man tra sino la mbati na ci fi okay Farsen join tele bala man di am de so okay alngata Farsen niate be maika ni lafta na la ise fang on mute malong because ngata like mute may on mute no so Alonso ita sina ngamera ite imeta jane fana Alonso yeah for TikTok le mo be mute bang what's going on okay I did drop tale Farsen bi jele bang okay Alonso iga moyle kitabu you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, there diam. Then after ya fatu so ajara tuba ya fatu so diam. So ya fatu yangi Gambia. Okay. Kitabu ñu so ay diam atebe Gambia le. Ya fatu be Gambia la te diam. Dama fone da yangi UK. Okay. Yo mën nga dem. Sorry.
Salaamaaleykum maa ngi nuyu ñëpp waaye.
Waaw fay nañ la.
di la sant di la gërëm parce que yaa ngi def liggéey bu rafet.
jërëjëf.
te li comme man dama la dee follow. te li nga advice yëpp li nga advice Gambien si yëpp. moo nekk di happen nii. comme solo bi ñu génnee nii. te lii comme li nga wax ni bu ko kenn wéedi.
waaw
yaa ngi dégg man seexu man lu ma bugga. ko ñaas ma mbokku Gambien si. ñun ñu nekk si diaspora bi sax duñ am lu ñu fi waaye man ñu nekk Gambie fii laa yërim. yaa ngi dégg. ñu ne ñu try suñu level de opposition bi buñ seet dara. comme li xew nii li ñu wane nii from ruling party up to UDP nii nañu wante dëgg UDP mooy the majority.
Yeah, UDP mooy am majority de waaw.
moo am majority. te Ousseynou Dabo oo na ku nekk kaale ñu booloo ñu nekk benn ñu ñëw génn fi li fi nekk. parce que dëkk bi dafa métti nit ñi dañ soona. yaa ngi dégg. waaye man li ma bëgg a wax mooy ñi nekk ci lifin bi la ne leen Facebook bi di baaxal foofu nañ stop loolu.
amul benn njëriñ de amul benn njëriñ yëfi amul benn njëriñ du ñu njëriñ dara.
ñoom ñëpp laay waxal parce que lii is enough ñu ngay sona ci lii amul même benn sens léegi dañu seen fi digga bi nekk million ci carré de pour wala ñu boolu is simple and straightforward dafa mel liggéey bari na ku nekk mën ngaa def sa bi sa waa li nga mu ne is so simple and straightforward te ñun yërëm Gambien si nekk fi Gambie man ñu laay wax am na ñoo xam am nañ métti sona nañ mënuñu seen bopp dara yëpp yaa ngi métti waaye suñ defutee boole wutee sew dañ amee ay Gambien suñ boole wutee nekk benn opposition ma lay waxal jahi dinañ am ah ñu bari ci Gambia bi ni party how many parties not join together nekku ne kii rek la di man duma bu ko club anyway da ko ne moom kenn bu doon moom kenn mënu ko mun so ñun buñ demee join ko dañ dem join hands together ñu liggéey on doon liggéey bu sa taxul ni ñu wax parce que defuñ ci dara anyway ñu war a dem ko def loolu dëgg bi loolu moo nekk dëgg so ñun opposition bi nii ay intellectuals and katan fi ñu name it ñu booloo ñu nekk benn ñu génne fi li fi nekk mi dëkk liggéey simple and straightforward waaye daa mun a wax ne ñoo minorité yow nga xam ne fi kan yoo dee la ñi nga xam ne ñoo am ñoo fekk loolu amul fenn loolu moom amul fenn
non foog naa léegi sauvé bi leeral na mbir yi di ko ñi nekkuñ UDP nekkuñ fenn faruñ fenn ñoom dañu wax ne UDP mu ngi 20 ñoom ñu bari amuñ 3% sax so yow su fekkee ne mënuloo am 3% from the survey results naka nga mën a foog ne Gambians yi dinañ la elect
xam nga lu xew yàlla moo wane boppam ni affaire yàlla la de ñi nga wax ni sax du ñoom yàlla moo ñoo wane nii la war a demee defee leen ko nii ngeen am li ngeen bugga Gambia dem kanam xam nga nit ñi ne dañ soona wax bi man ni maa gis dama dee si yow rek laay dugga di wax sax ñu ko wax bi kenn mënatu ko yaa nga di wax wallaahi ku nekk yaa nga di indi idée duñ dégg ñi la ñu dégg parce que xam nga lu xew si dañ fi nekkoon 22 good years am li ñu métti mënuñ koo solve ku nekk def nga li nga mun xam nga du yëpp nga mun a wax ñu xam ne ku nekk xam nga fekkee ni soo nee la ñu try li ñu daloon bu mu dalati te gis nga yaa jaami man ko moo te ne kii foofu yoon
kii gars yi commencé nañ di lim ay nit yoo xam ne ñu ne su baro arrêté ñooñu duñ teg seen tànk Gambia xam nga loolu xay man da nit call na ma mu ne xaw ma daal dafa tooñ ndax da def ko miin ñu Fatou Ba Baro ñu ne reporté li mu ngi commencé di wax ne xam naa ne diw sangam de moom su Baro win 2020 kooku du teg gam ma ne ko xanaa moom Gambia xanaa moom nit ki kay soo deful dara kay yaaxuloo loi looy ragal pour dem sa dëkk
gis nga sew man ñu dama dem wax seen affaire parce que li nga dëkk bi ku nekk xam na li ñu def ci dëkk bi bu nee na ñu bàyyi caaxaan yi nekkee ci Facebook bi
waaw amul benn njëriñ de waaw nuyul ma yaabooy nuyul ma ko
yaa ko wax léegi
waaw
bala ma ma daane yaa ko wax léegi ñoom loolu la ñoo use against opposition fi nekk
waaw
jubóowu
waaw
nekkuñ benn ñu mën a def coalition ñun win nañ ba pare loolu mooy wax bi
waaw loolu lañ dee wax si even Gambia sax loolu lañ dee wax
baax na so ne ñoo la ñu bañ maa ngi ñaan opposition yi yëpp di leen ñaax ngir yàlla ak yonent tam buñ nangu 22 good years, but I'm on Amatifi. Then we have about 22, let me test the one naked. Soon off the floor, coming out to show by you, the cat near before that you are. You may never see that for the Jefferson Jambo. Or like Mamma Matter, and they give you fear of one chicken room of fetter. Or somebody that I would do my husband, you want to say why moon love a fetter. Or like I do my almost off the floor. Coming your mention for no, did you know? So you son Allah. Banging lamb. Get over showing I had more on you, the opinion, just than the get at the hair. It was stop, can do what.
ma gis tey APH NPP gars yi ñu ngi top di dal si TikTok bi lay ñu ngi kontaan ñu ne separate results bi wax na ñoom ñooy gagné ñoom understand ñu sauvé bi sax understand ñu ko bu baax de waaw ba pare ñu ne 56% bëggul Barrow nekk président so loolu
ñoy problème ki nga gis du problème sax ñoo ko ci lu mëna dugal ñoo ko sey dugal waye li ma wone Gambia ci ewu len is not a joke parce que ama shahan dafa passé fi nekk na ci shahan passé
waaw
baxna assalamu alaykum ma ngi wax mo kan man so gisee may wax ma judu Gambia xam li fi xew mo tax may wax man dara nekkal lu ma sa
waaw jërëjëf ajaratu jërëjëf sa cadeau bi rafet na lool jërëjëf nuyul ma yaa booy nuyul ma ko jërëjëf amin ya rabbi jërëjëf jërëjëf ajaratu ya Fatou Sane mu ngi Gambia Fatou Sen Sabally ngalam fo saying ibe moy kanne bam TikTok le bante mute because abe mute renjante fon lafte on mute la me you maybe yeah, bismillah. Muna be kiri, muna be nyomi do. Ya mera nyomi ngol wol be jing sauver fon karana.
Seku. Konte be la moy kanen ka sino ka baran ko Gambia le bata warta hani koy be sino le.
Fasendo ka sino le de.
Ari ko be janda min to hi sino kan talen ka sino le bari la kumo fanan ka dum tulo ko non be bar. Nani sauver du Seku jumal le fangoy nyin ka fanyeli dum fanan baro 45 million mindi journalist
no ñunu be University of Gambia Cyprus ñu le itol meta ñu sauver si fakale maje even council of na yakale no local government ya fono ko UDP be West Coast win na la ni KMC ibeta ñu si fakala mabale itol be baro la pepu ko kono de mamira de
yo bete atangela kumo moy man ala tamo
ha bari fashion ye mim fanam fo ni ajibi ay ndolo opposition le favor ba ko sidula tallulu ni woro be man la fi baro la presidentiala ke mo kono sidula tallulu ni woro wala siata baro tati di
wala siata baro tati
e babare ko baro lon west president de jawra la fi zada de adam baro iko gamel e mel nyini nga
ngala modol jelde be o si be ñu celebrate
ha yalla dol kada men jibe bidi ko iko ni oppositional man kunke fanna woto barobe 46 sotolale bari ko ni oppositional lota kambe ngoketa so o coalition ole be gagner la ofo itol MPP ngol be men celebrate kan iko biko itol ni lonko opposition te kala kilendi
ni ba se ya gente nada na tani opposition ko fangola mol ba fala opposition ol be kelo la opposition ol te kala opposition ol jumal le fango opposition ol
momo ka fa modo opposition ol wo mo opposition ol
kan opposition ol wo UDP de wol mu opposition ol to min koyta duniya be la koy bu opposition ol sangi tan sabe be banko nyine ka andum bi alala de maro to wolle mu majority ti wo banko kan jamabe wolle no nin kumandiro mu UDP la leader la kumandiro ni bite ma karigelu birin lungo min na baw sen na diaspora to banta tata Gambia ala kuma folo mi ngaya fo wala munati UDP la bunda beleri opposition wal alnana ngake kilingoti ngi maral jawdam banko Seku silang mol be abe mune kela wo kola
okay fa sa nga nyininga fo sobe yankolo manko opposition tiba
sobe yam opposition ole
bare ndol ni sobe yankolo ni tara nyim platform nyim TikTok oto ika kalmol moyle diamol membe fayla ha UDP manyana kala nyinti UDP mankal ngole foye wolo nyo kelobe keka oppositional damal temale
bari yalla ni ajibe sobe yalla wala leader fama ya sene yandile ko eto ani mot wina mulu candidate ni wo andu Seku bi mo be ala ebe kilai nyimu to kutole te politiko kono mi yalon ko nyinan na to fintita
ha wala ñi winnable candidate bang ñi winnable candidate ha ñinan ne o fana funtita na diamo kono
ñinan ne o fintita na diamo kono andum jumal la fintindi UDP di wala ya fintindi ya la leader kunto mi ya lon ko sanji gelu abe maralola be kalon ka fa han 2021 ka tele winta kontolle ma faja o mo kili wala na to parakasi tenko UDP kono kay tandi ko baaw sen nete winna so momin te winne tolte bulala o noma sai andu wotto ya di baaw sen la fota dawda mo be kalone ka baaw sen ne to be hana leader lotala e wokko indi platform wolto kali o mari te kala kili won so sai mobe mune keno wala woto ko teke
mamera farsen mamera okay farsen mamera ya foko ani wote kala kilingoti ngamara ate men min ngamara la foro to wolom e tol malla fi woy tambi bari mamera comme imala fi ngaka kilingoti alon diamo ate kola tan comme oh ayo fole okay
to sai wokola mama kandele mu o fana mo opposition on andu silan kumandiro ketal andu yalo silan milibe duma gambi mano UDP la nyaton ko milibe duma ni ye nyinin kay ka nyina foyemba kata kanne ka chali be kerin to andu yalo tol fana be preso la ka wol kanne ko ali fintal nda mali ke nyo ali kaja bariyaje se ko ka ku kilingeje to nyante be damin ton tawde mimbe mutarinte bulo billahi Gambia dingolu ni kala mutate fahamta seku barola maralobe damin to bi ka fukiri ngo nyanta barobo indira
ha yalo nin kuol ba nyama asekeno bare yalo fasene nyanda be realize la e ga dula kilim mis ngame haklo ke jam fa jelale ndol nim baro kilim mantra lorinde yalo nga fo diamo ko jang ko nim baro hanyita e kiliyelo ani UDP mbabo indila
barobo ko ale sonal be barobo
yo ko yalo momembe mansa kunda sojarol babulu chefol babulu ate kodo babulu nafulo men babulu tete bulu way coalition of form so wo man nyanete fanan hakilo tala ko nyimbe nyin palaso to anala sembo bi anala fengo so na coalition of form tedum yala hakil kili manke hakilti mbe kan na mira nyaale fodro
ndari andi kanaje banko di wol kami fose ko wol nyanta wala fala alike kilingot yo bar sainte niyajibe Adama Barola patio NPP nena man Gambia winno without a man coalition okay NPP coalition la londi miyo NPP ka fokono nim patio mimbe be je ni woli be ni la moludu mo woro mo tambota je NPP ken sa wala be lola
tonya
molle kafun taje yo ban sain tol fanan milise kafun se ku wati je lu moli be noma ali kafunyola ali ke kiliwoti bar balango be min tole i toli be nyine kanko UDP le nyanta ala dumosi kala ita ala nyilika andu sila ali ngamira wala de mi UDP le mu jamaati
ha nga wole fo janko nyunu be nyanta bampula UDP le ko nyi sove fo yo tandi le kay ko diamo bantala fay sai
ni agibe wallahi nyim pati mol mi be Gambia kono mo jamal bi je seku ye fangole je man bankoje ye fangole je man bankoje kantu ni ye nyili ye bankoje no mote lole ka fo ko e ka UDP ni parti dole compare nana ta jamala siyala nana ta majority so sai ni te Gambia leje ite me kumoje ite man tarete i fangole nyaton kayala fo ite ko i fangol late ni ala din kila tema ko marali jawle be nyimbanko man tarata kuka andun tamu mole tinali ya banko dintela ni ala sonta alla vitamin na mbe wala londila nyimbanko kan bari do be fanaye wala fo do fanaye fo andite ya je konta kilinta kenola kar kilinta kenola bar mo lulle ben tabul mo tanne be nyimbul mo tanni lulle be nyimbul se ko munatinna be kole yale bulu Kuri ni la o mo lulo Italia la mo tanni lulo
la o manyana kala songari fa o
manyana diamula wala sanji jelumbe o diamo andi ta fangan ko tonya tala patiyo ni tada mata baro gondo bar patiyo bi janne mi ya lonko wo sutiya kala ka baro gondi ninte lota woli kandoro duta dingo mi mun tekili bulo ta soto lola bar nillo ta wor kan doron bulo ba soto la sai mune be balandi la pour ka yo wole kan mune be balandi la pour ka wol kan na kare mari Gambia leje nim politique parti lola libe mi mu to nyati ye kungole je man Gambia je ibebe lori kungole la fanga man saya andung se ko wallahi Gambia di wolu ni nyamen tanyili be saman sayano min bebe nyingir to la be saman sayano ba Gambia banko kan ni mo be keta kilimoti ni nyaaye Gambia
tonya
nga president londi mi ya lon ko sana baw seni yamuna ko ni nata 5 years doram
ha one time abe wala kala ngole fo jango ya 2031 idol da mal sa palazo nyini
Gambia di wali sabari opposition leader li sabari ali nga banko di yala sanji dulu kili ngay wokeje ay do ko kay silo fara silo e fanu atol funding kel yenana banko samba nyaay so ne ali bulu sanji dulu killing ay banko la
Abla I picked you up malam fay drop Taliban but I did pick you up
constitution buko kuto dinna ay do kendo li londi banko kam ay nim banko sende mali bulo du nyola mo kendo li e nyaati lim banko kam banko dawda be tailoring usenda bo e fero ka taile be bon ay di atol funding kel yenana wallahi al sabar ala kan kila kan mo opposition leader ti al sabar ala kan kila kan al na la fa UDP kan ngani maral jaw
bari ngamara say nying sauver les fatsen ngamara way cool be sene andi la say so
adam baroka te nyamen tale biring ala kiyamani kutol mi aye londi kiyanni fe itataje akate nyamen tale silanga ko ako 2027 carte fay 2027 akate yalon ko modol bije woli ya kon hana sanoni lulu wala di wala walta carte fay la ako bar silang akenya ngakeye akana wala
ika wala fo
aka ya kai ni jaranyoli bafala Baroko now winter 2027 kante pa ita 2026 December akoita ko 2027 atele president wote atefa nambu ya lon na be minke se ko la wallahi barobe kala dictator ta barobe kala kuti andu nyingambia kumbe kujela alama alen tankala bari no alim be ka aladan alen tanka barola man saya ko te
amen ya rabbi
kana je hani nyilmi ya lon ko doli be jele kam bi be kontanri kon ka barole support so ma hanna ketambine tolle jela kumbo barobe mo jamale balle singote dunna Gambia andu barobe ku kela o banko
alaman tangala wala alaman nakana futa woto fati ya amin ya rabbi baraka bake fasha na baraka bake la kom bismillah afala ala ni jara horomot ni nyomi fo duwate jabila de ayo say duwabe jabila la baraka thank you so say malam jubalo fo kitabu lombang malam jubalo fani madam sane malam kitabu ni madam sane jumalo fo juma saba okay go ahead kitabu go ahead okay go ahead quickly
aketa manta wali ti bake kosi Gambia la proprio go dunta benkon jawara la man ro wato la akisi hamin to be nya fanta wato good democracy mone medde democracy lo bi wolle ka kumbo ba dagre bari tumsa ya jambe nata mennu nyaaw mennu wuuta ya jambe maralo ko walla la dunia grota wala kono ya fanta wala kono itolia mira ko wala bu democracy fanat so wala ni no saban be siare because di jamabe je social media alte control betarra wal si fala from because itolia mira ko democracy multi so baro fana nata the same vision ka wala ki so comme ça essence ye même côté yulla okay ye même côté jamma dina ndunga lon ko ye même faje wala mo ko ba karangole be je karangole be jang Gambia di wolle muti so they have all rights through Gambia di benen ke kante very voluntarily or whatsoever ye make analysis so dol to woliaje ko itatele close yaje
Barbitu Puruka Karanjang Abeta Bakara. So UDP statement up way into very nice. And always encouraging Puruka continue Siva La Kajako capitalize. Pauline Franconi by election of Kiang. Certain things they will learn from that.
Yeah.
But between the most important thing is that UDP can have a Kumsako, yes, Sidoro. Because in the separation made and in the biggest one deal in the opposition. So, no, being oppositional Jamabe, ye party alone the Puru Ule Kama, Jukalon the Pu Ule Kama. You are between one finale be Fanal Koma Jigo because then the political Jamakata no longer live, Badia Fasalem or whatsoever. So, but we don't need more be a coma. It's a Jama Mana long Fanako, almost Melbourne coma. They are suffering.
Yeah.
The suffering, the pattern back in a value of complicated back in it. So, but in kind of work come my fellow Yanka, we come and normal. But why not? The fanatical mind reflect like Kajako, huh? See that you tell you when you know that the market when you go like work on. So, from a collective efforts to show no kama, from a showing na, Ning Doli, no Jabanga Kacha, Urkaja Banko, Bondi Banko, Kana, Finisama, Isajako, Atulfanal Lado, Blalsina, Lerno, Anyama, and the Talanyamia. So, UDP, don't see Camfire Mendino, and Yaron Kola. A Kanava Comsako, Camfire, Dile, Comsa. Press briefing men catching one layer, journalist, opposition kill the one rally the carrying kill and Quena, Ani. And not one atul them the biggest opposition did. Yetadron, your mamma can the welling yak, ya welly naikacha. Yeta Esa Falka yakacha. Any opposition go ye, what in personally in here kacha. Then is Sadi Bela no Landon, then collectively, because more offended of Mutarabu. So for it from Kana, it will Kana in Jube comes out because opposition young collateral. UDP ye load mental than betting all year. What happened the majority people and always it will maintain can be wrong.
Yeah.
Because one day party member go UDP Abinda Kole Alben Lukono. Yet one Amantara Shobe Yaring a woman Babulu, Amantara Bulari well Noma by heart. Don't be the Futala Bido. But near still now UDP Wula, the Baraka Kafule wrong. Fed the fuel and load lally because if the Banco, you know, mention of Banco, if they want to demonstrate can protect. So don't come. Tonya mol bela filere bar menni alon ko tapaleani in jugja wol mol menni alon ko ka balu wol da manda wol tella fino la UDP la andite UDP la kunyi na nyinya no mo nya ko so fonno to long wol si falu mote bula no la e ko dia ko ya fo ya nyinya di do hani ita nyinya la because lo adabu ko fo jama bebe lori wol to kam because lo adabu mo kilindi wolti Imagine bire ya kuba nata ya kuba o kilingol sifa muta so na la kele la fana de siana de jamano adama di woldo wole nyama ite be kilingol mutala drone paski mo jama la fta kabalu de jama la fta kabalu men na wala mu jen coach ite la fta kilingol la o kiling ite la o kiling silo fo ye kele drone o te bay and be complication o supply ye so the UDP ko na nyaton ko ikana si ngalong ko kom sa ko de try kan bari ikana si ka fon la biggest party ka kam fayro ket lo kom sa ni rally meeting to wala ita press conference to ka fo je hani yini wali individually ye be wali individually ke kacha di kaje ko niatu mo opposition yang ko be pare ni na ngane fon followers o de ko ndol nga Gambia leji oto ali na fero ke na Gambia je ngaje ko Gambia e bo.
Okay, Abaraka Kitabu, thank you for your contribution. Abaraka, if I don't drop knowledge. Modole question on Yininka from Gambia, but maybe it's a very interesting question, quite intriguing. But I will let these people put their analysis, and I'm going to raise that issue here on the statistics, and I go after my perception on that. But let me allow, I don't know, Sane Balamang, Lende Idi Sabanjang. Then after the edition, then apply. Sana Balama Bismillah.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Baraka. You are very good in numbers. So, what's your take on this survey, Cyprus?
there are too many things that I was looking around.
Yeah.
Firstly, yellow sampling size 1,245.
Yeah.
Okay, so but again, mostly Gambian Olu. If we have 1,000 talking about something, it means it's all of us.
Yeah.
That's the narrative because into perspective and our understanding Amanjam Fanyola. So and if that says that Wolien uniform, it means Barrow is in trouble. Because our power is very diminishing at this stage. So this is good in terms of UDP and any collusion near Long Kong, I believe, will be coming up board. Near Korosi, you will be together, all the collusion, all the undecided vote, you will be in Nata. I'm sorry, man, come to the rock, they didn't make no fun. I have to, Nahanga them. By enjoy Badu. I'm like, I got to my audience all contact. Yeah. So, so near the numbers will be add together, that gives you 52%. That is above Barros 46. The collusions, that's a grand one, a grand collusion, plus the undecided votes. If we are able to attract them. But remember, the undecided vote, Barros needs at least 7% to cross the line. Because the undecided votes there, but they will be deduct. That's 46 and 52. There is at least some percentage Barrow needs to have to cross over because it's first past the post. But me and the Gambian, we are at a very good stage to be able to conquer Barrow because most people don't like Barrow. So it's a bit narrative me and we can online separate but the negativity it doesn't favor them at all. Now, Minika for a UDP can cross the line alone. Nowadays, I doubt that. Simply because Birin to Fanantata have no own findings in relation to the IEC and in the police station. We need a lot of money and a lot of men on the ground. It's a lot of work. Polling station all Asiata. 730 polling stations. Polling stream solo last time was 1,554. Abinasi Tambilale because we are gonna have supplementary. Yeah, understand. So supplementary means for Binakang, which means we will have more streams to cover. The government is the incumbent, they have more power, more money. Which tells you, we are going to fight these people. We won't have the sufficient funding or the sufficient manpower to fight the incumbent. So that gives us with a situation where we have to look for partners. So one thing that's good about this electability and winnability, I think is going to go away, at least for now.
It's going to dissipate it, It's going to...
At least I don't discipline winnability and electability. So let's forget about that for now. Understand, there's still a growing one. I think for now the Gambians don't know that. Okay. So the other part, which I'm also trying to focus on, Barola administration Gambian qualified right now. They don't want Barrow no more. From what they are saying, and 49% respondents say that the vote. But again, they are talking about the credibility of the election. There is some percentage will they believe these elections is not going to go free and fair. And that's a concern. That's really embarrassing for IEC. 27% express that they believe there's going to be elections. That's done. But be credible. 29% believe that's not going to happen.
All comment all day, they are very apprehensive about it, about the fairness of the election, isn't it?
This is the thing. So if people are doubting it, that's not even good for the government, let alone for IEC. So Ntebemin expressed as of now, according to 1,245 people's knowledge,
the sample size.
I'm going to dismiss it fully, precisely. But we have to tackle, we have to do a lot more work. And again, we are in a better situation because Hanikabi, we have like 10 months to go.
Okay.
Even 2 weeks in elections can be really surmountable.
No, dynamics can always change, you know.
Can change,
yeah. Dynamics
so
can always change.
In relation to, I think this is good news for opposition parties.
Mm-hmm.
It is also an alert for Gambians in terms of the opposition to come together fully and formally to really kick off Barrow out.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Abarga Madam Sane, Gadande Ide Kang, so the I'm always sharing. The clock is ticking fast. It's 22 past 10. So Lady, go ahead, please.
Actually, it looks like Sanebalama. In fact, I summed up very beautifully. There was an area that I was observing, which was the 18%. And she touched that area a bit.
The unknown one, you mean?
The unknown one, the ones that many alonko they said ko imalo.
Yeah.
And if I were a political party that is an opposition in that country at this very moment, my focus would have been that. 18% of the focus to le, wale bekela na target area of work. Because it's not a rocket science. We have been screaming this on top of our lungs for a very long time in terms of opposition party Gambia ila percentage. We all know this is history. What is even actually very concerning, if I were any political party in that country, apart from UDP, because what is clear in this?
Yeah.
Well, UDP position is unquestionable. Clear leader in that country, the only clear party everybody believes can take this government out.
Yeah,
that what answering now is clear.
Yeah.
But what is concerning for this other opposition only maybe UDP look at what happened to their numbers.
Yeah, it's gone. I think they must be self-shocked about the results of this survey, right?
And I keep telling everybody since the beginning of the UMC, I said UMC will not affect UDP.
Yeah, true.
But it will affect all these small parties, and I mentioned 3 of them. And those 3 numbers will you because many baby UMC, among rocket science, they say you and I know we are in the head of information in every political party and their members. So we all know members will Jumalel be transfer. Ngalo no member Jumalel scream tanung Halifa Saleh. We see them now screaming for UMC. Ngalo no member Jumalel scream tanung Esa Fale Kabringanata. We now see them screaming for UMC.
Yeah.
Is it not a cause of concern for those political parties to look within themselves and understand? In fact, it will be Wuromeneka Foko, UDP manke winnable candidate or table ye, family check about it on family number at the mintole. Since after the change of our political arena, when another head was added, is it not a cause of concern for them to look back onto that and check that?
Yeah.
Now the 18%, my advice is going to my party because what I'm interested in, believe that party will be Gambia Bondinola. So my interest is my party, and my advice is gonna go to my party. And my party members and the supporters and sympathizers. Information, you do not dismiss it. So I wouldn't advise any of our members to dismiss this information.
No, in fact, you don't survey results, you don't dismiss them. No serious opposition party will, even in the West here, because opinion polls are rubbish like that. You learn from them, and that doesn't mean that they will be correct. They sometimes get things wrong. They're human, but
it is never even 100%.
Yeah, they have margins of error. There's margins of error at both ends. Yeah.
But if you are going to be wise,
yeah,
is to take on that information.
Exactly. Don't rubbish it. Yeah.
And then work with that information and still work with what you have
exactly.
as a party.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Yeah.
Now, I will advise UDP to do exactly that. And I'm going to congratulate my party for that statement, that beautiful, wonderful statement they
Yeah, but there is a very intriguing question from one of my guys in the Gambia, and I think this should be food for thought for UDP. Maybe this is good time for me to read this question. Ako Shehu, quite a very interesting analysis, and you guys are doing justice to this show. But yes, UDP has come up on top, which should not be a surprise to anybody. It is the biggest opposition party. But are you guys not deeply worried about the drop in percentage? UDP got 27% in 2021, and now there's a deterioration of 7% margin according to this survey. What is your take on that?
Well, okay, but that's wrong. That statement in itself is wrong, and I will tell you why. That 27%, that was the actual people who voted.
Yeah.
That is not some kind of a polls somewhere. This is a polls.
Oh.
So it is not election. This 20% in election can turn out to be 52, 53%.
Okay. No. Yeah. The problem is when you are doing analysis, people look at things from different perspective. I think it is a legit question because people will just look at it and say, yes, be it that was a factual official data and this is just a projection. Yeah. Yeah.
If he brought up the same polls last year or last election, compare it to
like for like.
Yes.
Okay.
How would that make sense? I would have an answer for him.
Okay.
I would at least bother to kind of go ahead and answer that.
Okay.
But an election, an actual election with polls, you cannot come. You wanna headlock those two. It is not gonna work.
Okay.
So yes, we should focus on the 18%.
Yeah.
Okay. There is no way any political party in the country is just gonna say, okay, is rubbish. Let's just throw it away. Anybody who does that, I would say you do not know politics and you are not ready to win hearts of that country. So my party should do everything, and I will advocate for that. I will join anybody who want to advocate for that within my party to do everything possible to win the hearts of that 18%.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I will touch on the side of the coalition. That coalition is needed, and it is an easy way to win given this information we have at hand, which is very true. It is very true. But at the same time, what these polls did is to tell those people that are calling for that coalition to understand there is no way in hell in that country anybody is going to win, or any coalition is going to win anything without UDP and without UDP leading.
Yeah.
They need to understand that. And then the fact that now you have seen yourself in 1%.
Yeah.
You want somebody 20% to come for you to lecture them who is going to be leading or who is winnable. It is now, we shouldn't even say the word winnable anymore. Who is UDP? Who is leading UDP?
So UDP now is a winnable candidate is UDP.
And then when they are doing this, they are asking who they think is going to win. Who is leading that? That means now is your 100%
winnable candidate. I think that what this survey has done, invariably it is going to put this narrative about this winnability. I think it's going to put it to bed now for once and for all. I don't think we will hear the rhetoric again. I think this.
Well, I hope.
No, I think it will not be said now.
And then there is another concerning thing I have just watched also in the polls, which is Mama Kande, which is
there is a significant drop on Mama Kande's side.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then a couple of weeks ago, I was doing an analysis on this coalition talks that everybody is pushing for UDP to have a coalition. Everybody should do what is right for the Gambia. And I said, and I'm going to say it again, and this polls confirms that coalition, who you're going to do it with, and who is going to be a deal breaker for win for that country does not necessarily mean everybody need to be in that coalition.
Okay, Madam Saneko, he wants to add something quick.
You can come on,
you can come on. If you want to add something, that's fine.
So that make where Mama Kande Valentin B. Ala number soul, where is it? Very, very, very concerning.
No, I think it's the most of to be fair, I think GDC has been wrecked by NPP to a great degree. I think Mamala supporters of Jama Babiji, they've migrated to NPP. That's my That's I think that is the consequential effect of this on GDC.
I will be very bold here and say something, and before I say it, I'm gonna say this is my opinion as no UDP or anything.
And you are not saying it on behalf of Bantaba either.
I am not saying it on behalf of anybody. I am saying it on my own opinion as Lady Touré. Okay?
Yeah, so I want to make a disclaimer before you say it. It's not the position of UDP Online Bantaba either.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what I want to say, I said since in the beginning, Mama Kande is always a partner to UDP, and we are grateful for this. Mama Kande is always willing and ready, and he have respected UDP and the leadership of UDP since the onset.
Yeah.
And UDP and the supporters of UDP are grateful for this. Now, that does not mean situations don't change, and that does not mean us having a coalition with him will give us a straight ticket to the State House. Mama Kande, Nala coalition can do two things. It can make us lose. It can be a deal breaker for us to win. And I will come to the corner of why I say it can make us lose, as in losing the no. You need to look at the trend and look at the political landscape, how things are working in our country. Any more line you can, as a coalition, can upset our supporters. And when it upsets,
there can be a backlash. There can be backlash.
It can be a backlash, and then it can do the opposite of what you intended. Mama Kande, there is not only political landscape, it's also tribal lines.
Okay.
We need to understand this. Adama Baroyo platform nicely, and Mama Kande is actually suffering, and he's becoming a casualty of it. And those members, many yalong ko mami believe wa alawola. Ning Mama Kande lata UDP could be in fact more dangerous for us to even win the coalition that we are all seeking for, because they can just write param. Because the question is there. The platform was already laid in the heads and the minds of Mama Kandela supporters. It will just be a confirmation for some of them if they see Mama Kande joining UDP. And that is not to say Na joint and Na could not be the other way, but I am saying we have 50-50 percentage in that.
Of course, for the wider audience, this is Ndei's personal opinion. It's not reflective of the UDP position. So we are not negating the position of the influence of others. So I just want to make that disclaimer. Madam Sane, you have to finish kafulaji.
So UDP and UMC is actually spot on. Because what something happened yesterday, and I wanted to share it, but I want to tell them here.
Okay.
So that as soon as it don't Joshua, Kebarol Tatakana, and they get a befitting reply yesterday. And Purkal Assembly Award, it is very clear that UDP, people love our party and respect our party leader. So it will look plano as far as the mean for on the ground was it will manta join the UDP. They're going to form their own separate coalition.
So,
UMC call meaning not to do so.
Oh, okay.
So it will be well a party line, all of the discussions they have with people.
Oh, so they're gonna try to form a separate coalition.
A separate coalition.
Okay.
So what coalition? Or it's been actually talked around, even to the platform or online. I've heard about it.
Okay.
I don't know no tough and the good thing is that Honey told that formation. Okay, it's 14%.
No, near total ad. Okay.
And one of the things surprise for NUP. And NUP.
No, maybe they are part of the orders.
But orders is 0%.
So maybe they are part of. But the Nigo orders
they had about 0.9.
Yeah, so that NUP is part of that orders category.
Yeah, so they had a 0%, which was concerning. So I think in NUP they had 7,200 votes.
Imagine they are part of the orders, Sanibalamu.
Those orders said 0. Everybody said 0 in terms of you.
So the remaining ones you only be put in that category of 0 point something. Yeah.
Okay. But talking about that 14%, we'll have a 3-horse race.
Yeah, 3-horse race.
And now everybody will be fighting against this 18%.
Yeah.
In order to take over.
Yeah.
But woman bet here, the statistics looks better for Barrow.
But do you actually believe in this 18%, Madam Sane?
Huh?
Do you actually believe that it exists, this 18?
Oh, it does.
Because I have a feeling that
people, some of them will not vote at the very Gambian Kolu. Trust me, some will go on the line tilo candidate yela tifenko buli yetasi. And some may sell their tickets.
Okay.
They might vote by.
So you believe that we do have undecided voters in the country?
Well, from Binte Tuntangambulo Dundi Duma, is the reluctant people.
Okay.
They don't care about Jamala de Vinda.
Okay.
Will be can't wait. Yeah, for hunting data from a cut your five and honey when young Barola de Vinda.
Okay.
Dolba for Lekoha, UDP, hunting data for night and a cartel a project more. So number winner. That's there. Well, now we have to always tell people
to go
realistically be caring when it comes to IEC. I think that portion is clear. But one of the questions I did not like in the Cyprus report is the question they ask about who is likely to win. I would prefer them to ask, who will you vote for? What question in perspective? Who is going to win is a prediction which nobody knows except Allah. And I don't think they should ask that. They should ask Ibekato Dile Juman. I think in that question. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Madam Sane.
Yes,
thank you.
In fact, he beat me into that last point. But I believe they have that information, and I believe that's the information they need to bring out. Was that information favorable to them or not? Was that information going to easily give the debate back to UDP, or are they leaving that information out to kind of have this
Are you talking about Cyprus or what?
Yes, I am talking about them. I am saying the question who are you going to vote for? Who would you vote for?
So are you implying that they have that information, but probably they decide?
I am implying. Let me make it clear. I
Yeah.
I am implying.
Yeah.
I believe they have that information. I do not believe they will do a poll like this and leave out who would you vote for. But now, if that who would you vote for, let majority.
No. Let me try to put my sense here. I could be wrong. I think they naturally would have that question in their questionnaire. Yeah, they take questionnaire. So when they do the tabulation, then they base the likely winner on the results of what they got from those questionnaire.
Yes, but
so that's what happened. Yeah.
But let me tell you what I believe. I believe opposite to that. I believe to bring the nation to their knees in the conversation of these elections and make it interesting and make remember, they need to be seen also as doing something, and the whole nation need to be talking about this. If you come and say to people, oh, who would you vote for? And then let's say 40 or 46% say UDP, that's a non-deal conversation. You will only UDP shouting and screaming and dancing. You do not want that. That percentage, even if it is in terms of business, I'm a businesswoman, that is not good for my business. I will put aside and bring a topic that will bring a cause of commotion, and then it will bring conversation, and I will get the whole nation talking about it. That is good for
me. But I want to do devil's advocate here. I want to play the devil's advocate. Yeah. To be fair to Cyprus, have there been any significant change in the way they release their results since they started this kind of work? Have they ever released that particular information that you're asking now? Have they ever done that? Who would you vote for? And they publish. They have always Niagibe. There is always the chronology of the way they do things. As far as I know, I could be wrong. Is this the format that they presented? This is the way they always do since they started their work.
Probably that will need some research instead of.
No, go and check. That's how they always do. They always say this is the likely. Yeah, this is the format they always follow. Yeah.
This my head and my head gets spinning.
Yeah.
If I see a poll came out and you did not ask the question, who would you vote for?
Yeah, so let's go down the memory lane on when they went out in the local government election. They said a likely winner and in Brikama was UDP. They didn't say who would you vote for in Brikama. They just said a likely winner. UDP will get KMC, UDP this. That's what I'm saying. There's a pattern already they've already set. So if we are now probably saying, oh, they should have done this, maybe they are hiding this, somebody can ask, but when they did the local government elections, why didn't we ask similar question?
And certainly, don't be surprised.
Are you so you want to for the local government?
Yeah, they said it likely. They said the winner UDP is going to win in KMC and these other places. They did. They predicted, yeah, based on their results.
I will give you something for free.
Unless if somebody can bring a counter evidence, then I will apologize. But that's my understanding.
They give the percentage, or they say outright that UDP is going to win the election.
They said it likely. They gave projections. UDP is going to win in West Coast and Fenkonying. So they did that. I don't think they said. How do you mean? What percentage?
Like now they say borrow for the 20%.
No, but let's go down to 2021. Let's go down to 2021. No. It's quite an interesting debate in the ED. It's very important. Your point. Your point the race jam Alongo is very pertinent. It's very pertinent, and we
precisely why I even came on, like that perception versus intent.
Yeah, so in 2021, what was the formatting of their results? How did they release their results in 2021?
Unless I go back to that.
Yeah, let's check that because they have to be consistent in the way they release their results. Otherwise, if they are inconsistent, then people will start mistrusting them.
Okay, so we need to have miracle. Need until a miracle. Need to have miracle like in the 2021 like in election affairs. That means EMM4 was right.
No, but I'm for 2021 fair. If you listen to my analysis, yeah, if you listen to my analysis, I said they got it right, even though I have my reservations on the fairness of the 2021 election, but their prediction was what was declared in the results. That's what I said. So you can carry on. Sorry, you interject.
Yes, that's what you have said.
Yeah, that's what I said from analysis. They got that right, but I have my reservation about 2021 elections still. I don't think is a reflection of the yeah.
So yeah. I want to make that question there. The reason why I want to, I do not want to leave any doubt scaffold. They don't have any other information left. I believe they might have another information left, but they might be steering it around closer to the election time so that they are not empty-handed. So if they're going to go around and collect data, they probably this time around will come up with this, what we are now talking about, which is who are you going to vote for? Am I able to come out? But I think, in fact, that will be premature for them to do now.
Okay.
Even if I were them, yeah, it is not good for business actually.
Oh, so you think they are trying to agitate discussion around this?
Exactly, and I don't think it's bad. And I think the information is good, and I think we should all take up this information, whether we believe it or not. But we should not rubbish it, and we should work hard on it.
Okay, let me read this separate result here, 2021. I just did a quick Google search. It says separate survey results in 2021 provided valuable insights into the voting intentions and the public opinion in Gambia. The opinion polls conducted by CEPROS indicated that the National People's Party was likely to win the presidential election, with President Adama Barrow of the NPP being the most popular candidate. The survey highlighted the importance of key issues such as youth employment, agriculture, security. The results were consistent with the outcomes of the actual election. So I'm just trying to validate the point that they've been very consistent in the formatting of the results of release. They said Adama was going to be the likely. That's what they said. So nothing has changed in the approach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's hope they keep it that way. But
no, because once they start changing it, then they will lose credibility, because you have to be consistent in the way you do things. Because otherwise, if you start shifting the goalpost.
I also did a search.
Yeah.
And it's telling me otherwise.
Well, I did it on my computer here. I just said separate results 2021. I'm seeing it here. Separate results 2020.
The likely winner was from their questions about who do you intend to vote for. Like I read somewhere just right now. I did a quick search. It says the question was.
Is that separate or Afrobarometer?
Separate.
Okay.
2021.
Okay.
They asked for intention. So when they got those data of who people who the choice of the people were,
yeah,
then they framed, okay, for us we are saying the likely winner is based on the intention of the voters.
But Abu, hold on. I'm a bit puzzled. I have said it here. That's where polls, that's where surveys are done. You put a questionnaire and ask who are you going to vote for. So that data they keep that data. That's what statisticians do. If you do statistics, that's what statisticians do. You keep that data and then you go to the analytical part. So it is the analytical part that you release. That's how statistics are done. But how, because let me tell you, how would they know that Barrow got this 46% without asking that direct questions to the sample called Iba Faila Jamali? And this is where the unknown came in, that some of them said they don't know because questions are asked. So
you know what this 46% is based on?
Yeah.
The question was, who do you think
is likely to win?
Who do you think is likely to win? So that's a question of perception.
Okay.
Because even here on our TikTok platforms, like if you go to these opposition platforms, right? Many people have this belief if there's no coalition, Barrow is going to win.
Yeah.
So
True.
If you ask those same people, are you going to vote for Barrow? They're gonna tell you no, I'm not gonna vote for Barrow. So you see the difference?
Yeah, I see the difference, yeah.
I have something that I want to actually add and then validate Abu Kamem Foteng. The doctor that they were interviewed on iAfrica also did say it is the perception of the people who ask who is likely to win.
Yeah, of course it's the perception. Yeah.
So it is not a question put to them as who are you going to vote for?
Exactly. And for us, that is the most fundamental. For me, that's the most fundamental question. And then if you check the survey, or you know that this is just one facet, one question about the survey. There was another question that asked, who are you going to vote for? Is it the opposition or the incumbent? 49% said they are going to vote for the opposition. 34% said they were going to vote for Barrow. But among that opposition also, they also did another question among the opposition. They asked again, who amongst this opposition will you vote for? 35% said UDP. 35. Then 11. Only the second person, the person that came closest to UDP, was no to alliance. 11%.
Okay.
Then next, DOI 8%. Then you came to UMC 6-7%. Then I think.
So what was NPP's percentage there?
So for this one was amongst the opposition.
Oh, amongst the opposition. So okay.
I first said.
Yeah. So even men folk and young, so the question has been asked, but just within the opposition, not generally, not entirely.
So they should have asked that question across the board.
But there is no brainer. You know UDP would win that one.
I know, but
and then by a huge margin.
But it's not brainer to me and you, but there are people who are saying UDP.
Yeah. The opposition which one? The one he just read?
The one he just read.
But even Ibrahim, even perception wise, Barrow 46, opposition only had 56% say no to Barrow.
For me, I will not take that as
even like we love to go more from Kenyan and Kawa that perception because it's a feeling.
Yeah.
Yes. So that
it's a feeling.
Necessarily mean
you're
going to vote for the person.
One man beka diabu, he beka bankora batale. There's nothing, no question you're bending in Kawa lato. Me yalo ko more be ma for banko be kolea.
Away from my time.
So ne more be ko banko be kolea in there. I don't think when they go to a voting vote, they will go and vote against their own benefit. I don't think. So this is what that was driving me.
Well, Ibrahima, it just happened in Kian Kayaf. No. But listen. This is a sample, but Kayaf is also a sample. Okay, because you're just saying Molde Batali is not going to happen. I'm just saying let's be courteous about it. Okay. I know what you're saying is sensible. People are saying, but the dynamics in terms of our voters, Gambian voters are sometimes things can be very complex. And the way the mindset of the Gambian voters, the way they vote is probably not on issue based. You know that? We don't vote on issues.
That's coming concentrated vote is different than the major vote.
Yeah.
Okay,
Gambians are very unpredictable. And she's right.
But presidency ramification is far much worse than coming, council water. Because council water, people don't look at council water as anything that is important.
Yeah.
But Bangkota, everybody can learn Ninga Ninka Yung Planto. Membinang Kang Sinin Sama is going to be way worse than council water. Because they don't look at council coming, they can make a difference.
So it a miracle like separate learning question or Kafoko perception is irrelevant in the bigger scheme of things. So
it's irrelevant because to be nervous a little bit is very good.
Yeah.
The more you have, you have overconfidence.
Yeah.
This last election, it's not right. We cannot be too overconfident.
Yeah.
Yeah. I keep on saying to people.
Yeah.
So, the thing is, is very good.
It's good. Okay, so in the phone. Yeah, you're right.
So,
it should be a wake up call, isn't it? Yeah.
And then one thing for the more careful, UDP in the Bulala because Nilamin Sanid Diamta Wato, what Labin Sanid Diamta Wato, what eco, it didn't want the Diamuka. If it's opposition or candidate, don't figure
Lamin Mane, Dr. Mane.
Go after them. Dr. Lamin Mane, sorry, Dr. Lamin Mane. Dr. Mane can you pull a water, but sometimes I get more found out a platform. They just keep on repeating this word. Go hard like you didn't call it a more no, in that more number.
But Ibrahim, what is wrong in that? Huh? What is wrong in that? No. Because look, Politico, there's nothing wrong. You reach out to others. That's not an issue for me. It's normal in politics for you to reach out to others.
UDP cannot reach more. You might understand. But UDP are doing that already.
But y'all mandingol ko suo se borona ya la fa yarola, so it's okay.
You should be small details like if enlighten the world.
Yeah.
That's the reason people watch.
Yeah.
You can understand it because sometimes we're not gonna agree with you with everything.
Yeah.
We can come over here we bump each other. But who might that respect is not there.
No, that's normal. That's fine.
Now you mean well, even men folk and like if even folk I'm coming particular benefit to them into anything men folk and particular benefit to them take out for. But coming in the problem with it's like that feeling. What in the body? It seems like more answer Canada.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Brahma. So now let's go to Abdullah and Abu. They've been here for long. So I don't know who wants to go first. Is it Abdullah or Abu? You go first then.
Okay. Yeah, so not interrupted the so now that it's my time. I mean, I just want to say, as a UDP and UDP supporter, listening to you is so refreshing because I find you very analytical, very logical, very honest, very measured.
Thank you.
So coming to Slovenia, right? Like I was saying, in the face separate, they missed the most fundamental question in the
Yeah.
So it all question on Munyininka is about perception.
Okay.
Who do you think is the likeliest to win? Right? That is not an approval rating, or that is not a measure of someone's popularity. It's not a measure of that voter's intent or their choice. It's not a measure of voters' choice. You understand? Because even amongst the opposition party supporters, a lot of them would tell you Barrow will win. We hear that all the time, right? But those same opposition supporters, if you put them on the spot and ask them, But are you going to vote for Barrow? They will tell you, no, I am going to vote for this party, but I think Barrow will win.
Yeah.
So you see, there's a difference. Because like this, they can go to a Doi supporter. Okay, Doi. Okay, if I get a Doi supporter, I think Barrow will win, but I will still vote for Doi.
Yeah.
You understand? So if you ask that person about perception, he will tell you, I think Barrow will win. Or you go to another European member, they will tell you, I think Barrow will win, but I will not vote for him. So the perception, or that perception also can be because, okay, yeah, the Barrow Kodoba Bule, he has power of incumbency. Yeah, so all that more be factorial probably those things may be responsible inform as to why Barrow would win, like the power of incumbency, he has the money, he has this. So in your mind, you'll be thinking, because he has all of these things, he is likeliest to win. But that doesn't mean I'm going to vote for him. You understand? So that's why I told you, this is just one question. Like just what's on Gambia last affair, like everyone is just going by that 46% UDP 20. No. For me, it's not very, I will not say it's not relevant, but it's not the most fundamental question. The most fundamental question should have been, if elections were held today, who are you going to vote for? Then that way, Neo answer well and code. Because I'm going to vote for Dabo. So that means Dabo is my choice.
Yeah.
Dabo, I intend to vote for him. Then you go to another NPP, I will vote for, but then that percentage, then I would have taken that one more seriously, that perception. Because now, another question they asked was, who are you going to vote for between the opposition and the incumbent?
Yeah.
34% said they are going to vote for the incumbent. Then 49% said they were going to vote for the opposition. So I would presume the remaining 27% would be for the undecided. So then in other amongst that 49% opposition will come. Who are you going to vote? So I don't understand. Like amongst the opposition, you ask this question, who are you going to vote for?
Yeah.
But now you could not ask, you could not place them one by one after year being across the board between, all the candidates, like amongst all the candidates. You asked among the opposition, but now when it came to putting them all together, you then went on to ask for perception. You should have asked like the same thing. Like if you put all of them like separately, who are you going to vote for? That would have given us a more informed,
that would have given a more clear indication.
Exactly. So it's like amongst those opposition parties, right? Among the 49%, so in Aramani Karoge, who amongst these opposition would you vote for? Then Barrow UDP 35%.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm even happier than that 20, because this is clearly intent.
Yeah.
35% of those people amongst the opposition said they are going to vote for UDP. Only, the closest person was No to Alliance, 11%, DOI 8%, UMC 7%, then SFL I think 6% or 4%, then GDC. So yes, so basically, I just wanted to bring in that difference, like, because I see a lot of people, it already in Taga, like this 46% is just like intent. No, it is not.
It's not. It's perception. But
exactly.
Albert question on race is quite important, and probably I think the people who actually did this, the people who actually did this will be questioned about this. Need other interview. I'm sure they will have interview on the platforms, the conventional platforms, and I think some of these questions will come out. The way they did their survey, whether this specific question was asked, who would you vote for? And if they, like you said, you're right. If they did it within the ranks of the opposition, why couldn't they do it on a wider scale, like for everybody, including Barrow? And that is a question that they will have to answer rather. The people who actually did.
And I think they did. I think they have that.
I don't think I wouldn't be suspicious to that level, the I don't think.
I think that information will not stay.
Even Fatu she made a analysis about it. She said the same thing. Like when it came to that 46%, she said that is not to say I'm going to vote for Barrow. It's a perception.
Yeah.
So that is different than I am going to vote for him.
Yeah.
So that is the thing called left of thing. And then when it comes to coalition, it's it's clear. Like if these people, new survey from what Damala result of it has been clear that UDP.
UDP is a natural leader of the coalition, isn't it?
It's way above all of them. It's not even close. It's not even close, actually. Like by virtue of our elected officials, by virtue of election results, by virtue of more activities, everything, they don't come close. So,
but now let me ask this general question. Okay, we have definitely dissected this survey, and a lot of important things are coming out. But in your mind, why do you think this perception is there? We know it's just a perception, but why the perception?
So that's what I'm saying. Like, even in the power of incumbency. Right?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
They have the government machinery and they have the money.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That bravado, like when Barrow goes out, the guy convoy all those things. Like even Barrow, not a jamming inauguration of Mulba wave lab, I think. So need a now, you have here. Barrow winter.
Okay.
So what I'm quoting, but that doesn't mean you are going to vote for.
But is it not also? Yes, that's one aspect. But could it be the lack of cohesiveness within the ranks of the opposition could also play into the minds of the people, saying, "Well, the opposition is fragmented. We are not united."
No, what kind is absolutely correct.
Exactly.
Because we cannot go for a war. If we come together, if we are more cohesive, we have a better chance of deposing this guy than if we were to go individually. And then you have amongst our ranks every time picking on each other, going. So
exactly.
People coming back when I'm like, if I were an independent person, I would rather probably just abstain or something.
Yeah.
Even if you don't want to vote for Barrow, you might just abstain. Because they'll make any headway with how they're going. Yeah,
you are right. Maybe that part and this incumbency part played into the minds of these respondents when they said, "Oh, we think that Barrow is the likely winner." So there's something. And I think, one thing.
The 34% more. Barrow's 34%. The 34%, because that one they asked, "Are you going to vote for the incumbent?" That one he has 34%. Yes.
Okay.
But UDP also has 35% amongst the opposition.
Okay.
So if they had asked that question, like if you had to do it on a wider scale, including everyone, probably UDP and NPP, then you're done about it because near the UDP oppositional theme is too wide. You understand? So near NPP and UDP landing, probably they will both be in the 30s. So
So then we will have kingmakers then.
Yes, then sign opposition.
Then we will have kingmakers, because if you are saying there's a parity between these are all presumptions. We know, we are just doing analysis. No, the actual results will be on December 5th. You know, this is all. We could have on the 5th UDP come out with 55% of the votes. Actual results it's possible, and NPP can get 30-something%. These are all perception, but we will have kingmakers in the team.
But undecided all financial the money is up to 20 something. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's also I don't know.
Yeah.
That can tilt in either way.
How do we, how do we work towards getting those undecided voters?
Just be more rigorous with our campaign strategy. Just keep pushing. Like we are on track, I would say. I would say we are on track. Like UDP, like coming, ika fenkol munusoro, like disappointments or any betrayals or more can have after still they're still able to maintain.
Somebody just commented soft words. Somebody just wrote through talking to people in a very nice way. I think that's what the person is trying to say. Could be a factor trying to attract people.
Oh yeah. So
conversing in a way, not through being aggressive about things or something that can be a turn off as well.
Yes, but not somebody come and lie against the party.
Yeah, but Ablai, hold on, Ablai, hold on. Let me clarify, because I raised this. Ablai, even in the most sophisticated democracies, people lie against them, but there's a way to respond.
Yes, we'll respond.
Yeah, so abe menfokan ko soft words. Like you can still tell somebody that he's lying by being in a very you do it. Yeah, you don't have to go overboard.
Sometimes,
That's what
you know, it's frustrating. Like even if I go on platforms, right? Like
yeah.
if they try to lie about, I get up.
Yeah.
I would come up and then I would defend my party. You know, sometimes it gets tense. We understand all that, but people also on the other side, they should, you know, so come here, like
yeah.
this politics.
Yeah.
Whatever
you do,
lies
yeah.
you say about others,
yeah.
like know that you'll be held to account for this.
Yeah.
So Nimolio keep at the back of their minds, some of these things will really dwindle, like this back and forth, because most of the time they are the ones Munka UDP ma. Most of the time, I'm not saying ko UDP ko fara, but most of the time they're the ones. It will never UDP poker, then UDP comes to defend. Now when UDP comes to defend, they call us names. So that's the problem. But still, yeah, let's just, you know, keep it, I mean, our intonation, like, let's just keep it moderate, you know, and yeah, hopefully we would just...
No, look, I listen to you. You I think you make round in these platforms and you always give insightful opinions, you know, but you always do it in a very measured way, okay? And I've never had you go overboard to say things. Yeah, voice you know, I go to engage in Sobe debate and other people, and but you do it in a very measured way, and that's what I'm saying. You can debunk ideas and false narratives, but do it in a very measured way. Don't do it in some certain languages and certain it's a turn off for people.
We live in the West here, because that's what they say. They say they are living in the West.
Yeah.
So in the West, in America, when you look at the politics, that's how the same way they talk. That's how we're gonna talk.
Yeah.
That's the lifestyle they want.
Yeah, Apply is always coming out. You're comparing apples to oranges, Apply. You know, you're comparing apples to oranges. I'm sorry.
We are at least 30 years.
Yeah.
And we are doing it for not for ourselves, for justice, for betterment of Gambia. So there will be no apology on whatever I do. Me personally, I'll be very unapologetic because I'm not doing this for myself. 30 years.
Unapologetic about what, Apply?
Unapologetic.
About what? About what? What?
This is what they say. They gaslight UDP. UDP go like this is all garbage stories from Freedom Radio to now. Abe is garbage. Yes.
So that's what we are saying. Like there's a way to
started Freedom Radio.
How to call it?
Abe
Great to listen.
So we will not apologize nobody for that.
It's very interesting.
Tanji tansa babe kola ebe tonya keleka mol mawdu ikaho be wuliya la leka yeso wala for what? It's not gonna happen.
Bye everyone.
Apply Mala, which direction are you going with this?
This narrative continue. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, but I'm a bit confused. What if it again direction? What?
Like if you've been listening to Cyril, right? Like if all of this is about UDP, he comes here and then debunk them.
Exactly.
Saying the intonation.
Intonation. That's what we are talking about, Apply. We are not talking about saying that we should.
When they raise up their intonation, we will raise up also.
Okay, fine. No, fine. Apply. It's free world. You know. Listen. Do.
Party supporters should understand that also.
Yeah.
30 years. It is. 30 years. It's not like 30 days.
Yeah.
Yes. So if Ningo Kebal be fair or be greedy, purify self older, they would have just leave.
So, but nobody's saying that Ningo Kebal be fair. Who said that?
I mean, this is how I'm just thinking about it.
So Apply. Let me get it clear. What is the argument here? Apply. What is the argument between you and us? No, what is the argument here? What is the bone of, what is the, let's have a direction in our conversation. What is the bone of contention here?
The bone of contention is the narrative.
But we are not arguing about the narrative. There is no, Apply. We're having a very productive show here. You and Abu and myself, and they did a drop off. Yes. Our argument is not about the narrative. Hani misilime hani na kebal ko kuma mune ntinya mfonya fonna kebal ko
go say you have to change that because all other UDP are not on side.
No, I don't think so.
No.
Apply, you're wrong. Apply. Are you saying that Burgon Tolle ko than 20? Listen, let me make this clear. I have a different opinion. ha nganyina ke jan 2021 we did this wala na Barrow win. Then ningo for are we accepting that Barrow won the election fairly because ngalo ko Barrow en sunya. No mbo ite buka fo barinka mo molla le ka fo ko ha nganyine buja manta to with these people. No memena nka mo molla ka fo ko because manta to with UDP fire for fire with these people run Barrow in 2020. So Neo for invariably you are saying that Barrow won the election fair and square.
No, I didn't say that.
So this is the thing because Barrow, I still believe that Barrow will election will win. That's my belief. Malaya Sunya Nyaming, but I believe that Barrow did not win 2021.
You know, Milko for me, UDP, one thing African election over Jamming. You can win election, but you have to defend your victory. So UDP failed to do this 2021 because of it more but I think they learned from that.
Okay.
Next election is just not going to happen.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, sometimes it doesn't have that big impact in the Gambia. But
it does sometimes.
Online
it does.
You know, I was in one of the online.
Listen.
So for an selection, they all debug.
No. Apply. Wala nang ko. Okay. Sa mfanan songa dia mo apply. Mfanan songa. No, apply. Hold on. No, apply. Wala nang ko. What is the? Allow few minutes. If I crave your indulgence. Yalla mo. Wala nang ngin nga question naman ko. Apply. What is the argument here? Because you myself, apply, Abu, and everybody here. I'm not going to sit down on that platform auto. Apply. You know. I have been in most of these TikTok platforms since last year, debunking the false narratives. Even in asset school, you say no double. I Mafoko moment na UDP defender because near funny it is our right. Anybody else in UDP to go Yafoko. This is not true. I don't think there is a bond of contention here. Yeah, I think. I was not hearing that. So this is why I'm going to apply. We are all saying the same thing. What is the argument here? Because the thing is.
What I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's just you were mute. I just heard you now.
Okay.
What is going on there?
Okay, so we are on the same page. Well, I'm not going to bury Muso Jindi because they do because I'm confused.
Let me tell you something. Made any online thing.
I will take a little.
Thank you, Abu. Thank you. Sami mbera popula. Baringo. Gis na fi ngamole je menka munta ko Fat Njai asleta jambara drop tale. Fat Njai ngamole je na account ko mulun nede.
I saw Fat.
Atelom Fat Njai lo ma jitale yalo Fat Njai ay banta ba boycott le sa bu kana jang. So Fat Njai egal. Molka to wala nyinin kala bari ngajele a dropta malam fo among time wala so fanja su kene ma dega nga egg because nga wara ñew fi leral
gaslight me in UDP contact. People like you, when people come to your platform, you can listen, you talk, you don't want that, kind of thing. But from a model, so to me, they'll be like them at their level. We need that also in the party.
No, yala blay nangana commotion yandi ba yala muna nante kanyi diamu abla yala benyami abla yala benyami abla modulu biji ye yala mo beta mala because modulu biji fon we ni wole back and forth ke fe fon ke fon tarden difam.
No, I know
ndeka jibele from that perspective because UDP be dame just look at these results. We are no match for this opposition.
I know.
Just look at these results. The margin is so big. Okay, so membe ki lafta mem fo ja wolo nyentiko at the end of the day ndolle nyanta nte ka ja wolo nyama but ma fo ko ntebe mem fo ko mobile nte kan na mira nyale di ko mobe yalan ko iteni wo almanto the same wavelength. The margin is so big. Ite kata ini wo kan news ikela time limits. But of course ne statement also bring a statement also a platform also about UDP leader on the deportation or whatever. I came here and I debunked that. You
should also believe that there are many platforms here around the world. They have no agenda. Their agenda is UDP.
I know that.
Yes.
I know that.
So that's it.
I know that. You see, like, not brother Dolbijan Samsar. Malam Samsar, he's one of the critics of UDP. Before Ngajela, the platform daughter about Fokang, trying to caricature Mr. Dabo as a Facebook president. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, was Sifalu. They are not healthy. Okay.
Yes.
You know, and Mr. Dabo, yes, based on official results, I'm a win follow. But to try to say Mr. Dabo is Facebook president, I think that is utterly disrespectful.
No, I think he's very ignorant of politics.
No. Maybe he's trying to be a political banter or whatever. But yeah. So, but if Mr. Dabo is Facebook president, what about these other candidates? Based on this survey, they are in the margins of 1 or 2%. Yeah. So Ngala Komendjele in one platform, I saw it myself, and I said this is not pleasing. And yes, and these are the things that you see. They try to make mockery and they try to say blah blah blah. You know, it's your right. You cannot UDP support fair. Oh, by the way, na sister la birthday on BD. Yabinta Mangs. Yabinta, I saw you watching. Happy birthday to you. Alamay ululun jama celebrate. Happy birthday. Yeah, Binta. Hey, ngamo dolo jang ako aji man jam boycott de. Aji man banta ba boycott. Kana dole go ako aji and fatu njay boycott ban. You know, ima boycott. I'm just tonye kan. I think.
Okay, well.
Yeah. Amanke ko aji jam.
Yeah, definitely for that.
Jama aji bang.
Sometimes late night.
No, yala aji wol kata janale. Tol kata late night show. Late night show. So yeah, we bugandela time also. Yeah.
Yes.
But maybe alanga surprise nyininka ye nyininga new question or did they ask the question?
Because the idea for and then Abu Fanaya for and it seems is the most important minyan tajinka because ni mo nyininka ibafele jumale. It's better than Yamara Jumala we win.
Maybe later on he be off on the list, Lale.
Yes. Yamara Jumala win. You know, yeah. So I think that's a very good question.
How about the result of among Barola Mol favor because the disapproval rating from is
understand.
No, I'm people go understand better all like it only Nico.
It's important. It shows opposition also. 100%, but
so what has been the conversation? Apply. TikTok all. What has been the general conversation today on this result? Other platforms.
In fact, I was there late. Soti was there. You know.
I was there. Yeah.
Yeah, but remember, this result can make compel the opposition to sit back and say, "Oh, I think we have to rescue this country.
Yeah.
We have to come together, and then get this man out."
Yeah.
I think that's the significance for me. Of this result.
Yeah.
Even though it's not 100% coming.
No, it's just a survey, and sometimes survey results they do get it wrong. Like Zimbabwe, like Zambia and Malawi, they got it wrong. So it's not. It doesn't mean that you name them for Wolabeka. This is just a perception. But I think we should not just rubbish it on oh, this is utter nonsense. So it's better to learn from it. And
I don't take this government to survey. Really, for me, I don't. But then, I mean, what you say about it, the analysis is very spot on. I think that's right about it because they work on it. This is their thinking. But in scrutiny, I think it's not mean that I think that's something that.
No, I'm sure journalists will ask them that question. Well, did you guys ever ask who is? And again, on the intriguing part is coming Abu Yememfo. If they can ask that within the opposition,
yes.
Why did they keep that out?
Yes. Who are you going to vote for? Yes. Yeah. If you go to Basay, you ask 50 people, who are you going to vote for? Then you go to Jara, you ask MID, you ask 50 people in Jara, 50 people in Foni, who are you going to vote for? From there, you make your survey, I think that's there. That's naming Bondoda. It's not from the same survey, but I think that's better than Gaffer. Who do you think is going to win? They hard for the borough because they see borough power batterable. They make rule how many years power batterable. So, Modo analysis. Ako more me wuluta jamela time. You know, more wuluta before jamela time. Mel kebata. They know how democracy, how we enjoy when we are young, how we enjoy democracy.
Yeah.
Time.
Yeah.
So so now, if you come, wuluta jamme, mente jamme kono, all more understand. All wrong. That's the what was happening in the Gambia. All of. So, Baro Fane Walter, you know. Although he's not a dictator, I will not qualify him as a dictator, but I found in cool Benjamin in terms of trying to, perpetuate himself on that seat, you know. So I found style Sifalala coming in Kolomik 50 million regarding more learning, NPP, this NPP, that sort of thing. So Sifala so Barbara, this is normal.
Okay.
But it didn't normal. This wasn't happening in Jawara time.
What is that?
Like in Jawara time, you have an opposition. Me and Uncle is a headmaster. I can do election against Jawara after I moved headmaster.
Yeah, okay. Jawara was a Democrat.
Yes,
yeah.
I showed that. Teachers, government employees.
So I knew okay, Barote Murunela headmaster la then okay enough. No, Jame.
Okay, so Baro time if you cannot do that
Yeah.
now. Yeah. So no sifala. Then mame wokono. You know. So model about folk go more sifala. This is normal. The politics in the Gambia, the democratization process is normal. Like even near electoral IEC. There are so many things. But what Baro is doing now is inducement. We are in election year.
Yeah.
Yes. You're given 50 million. So it's inducement.
So I will also be interested to know
why you want to give it to a woman mobilizer of your party to do this.
I would also be interested to know what will be the reaction of these other opposition parties to this survey, because I think they've been very muted about it so far. So, but I think it will be interesting that we all give our honest opinion about this survey and where does this put them in terms of their quest to lead the coalition. Because if you are saying that...
I said the winnable syndrome.
Yeah. This idea, the concept of winnability now. So Malong, how they would come out, and I saw somebody here who's one of the members, but now I'm Marie Tatale, so I wanted to ask his opinion about it. And I think it would be very interesting. Najibe saying, survey has shown who is the winnable candidate within the ranks of the opposition.
Sometimes I think really winnable for I'm even follow like from the survey leader. An interview. Since then, this winnable is on this winnable. Because this is long time. For 2021 electoral interview, for a candidate that is winnable. So something like that, So since then, this winnable is everywhere. Winnability,
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. I mean,
but it is a fengol on mealonko word lo mealonko some it will disappear very soon.
It should.
No, now it will disappear. I don't think.
Ping pong should be between Baro and UDP.
Of course.
Yeah. The rest they need. I don't know. What have I got to say? What's the name? What's the name of it? Yes, that's what they need to get Baro. To get to Baro.
Opposition online. Apply opposition because Bimbe program on America saying personally they are advocating and you can attack online.
Yes, it should be like that.
Yeah.
It should be like that. But you cannot go sit down. You don't have any agenda, no program, no policies to explain to tell people, but only UDP, UDP.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
That cannot be. I mean, we all have to come together, rescue the country. I'm sure that man is honest. If he did any collection, he will not betray Gambians.
True.
When they sit down and agree, and he signed, that signature will be his life. He will not, I'm very sure he's that type of person. Yeah.
Abaraka saying we wrap up the show. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for another time. Thank you. Good night. Okay, mbari ngombe program okumfala janne. Quite an interesting discussion. In the program okumfala for another time in Benta Bantaba. I'm sure this debate will unravel and it will carry on for the next few days, and people are going to give different perspectives, but that's the purpose of a discussion. More than a different analysis deal about it, but legit questions have been put here that they should come out and tell us who Gambians would vote for. I think that answer is going to help us. Sepras probably should, I'm sure they will be asked questions about this. Because perceptions on his shelf can be misleading. But when you tell somebody, you come and ask somebody, who are you going to vote for? I think those statistics will be more of meaningful to us in 2026. So hopefully they will come and tell us that. But I don't want to go down the line of the Kafoko see things they have it, but they don't want to release it. I think opinion. I don't think they would have, because that will be very disingenuous if they did that. If they have that data and they refuse to release, that means they have a dog in the fight. You know, they have a dog in the fight, and that's going to erode their credibility. You know, it erode their credibility. People start doubting them, and I don't think they should do that. That's not in their own interest. If they want people to respect them and hold them high, they should not do things like this. So hopefully we will. But Allah barakabaka, Allah masuto kairo shela fani benta jam kotenke on YouTube online banta ba. Allah mas.
Ale fonsaje de. Ale fonsaje. Ale fonsaje. Ale fonsaje. Muna dabo sanka baluo. Ale fonsaje. Mbe useni dabo julalema. Ale fonsaje. Juloka manga maje. Ale fonsaje. Ni aja manga maje. Ale fonsaje. Suluo simbeneleda. Ale fonsaje. Useni masata. Ale fonsaje. Alale amansandi.